Get on the FFV's Facebook page and watch Matty Macker about to commentate here at NPL Park.
Good afternoon and welcome to Amy Park for the NPL triple header. It's not too late to get down here, tickets at the gate. We're about to get started with the promotion relegation playoff between Green Gully and Moreland City, but later we've got the NPL Victoria Women's and Men's Grand Finals. My name's Teo Pellizzeri, joined by Victorian football expert Damir Kulash. Damir, great to have your company. I guess this is the one with a lot at stake. There's no trophy at the end of it, but the chance to be promoted for Moreland City, the chance to be relegated for Green Gully, the stakes could not be much higher.
Very much so, Teo, and thank you for having me here today. And who would have thought that going into the season as one of the title favourites, Green Gully would be here for a promotion relegation playoff and not a grand final this Saturday. It's been a season from hell for them. Moreland City, on the other hand, had an early cup exit, and I think that did well for them to make sure that they concentrate on their season, domestic season. They pushed Dandy City nearly all the way, but ultimately just didn't have enough quality to stop the men from Dandy achieving automatic promotion. And I think that they're the team that's coming into this game with a lot of momentum, and perhaps, dare I say, might even be starting with its favourites.
The numbers tell a pretty damning story for Gully. They have won one of their last 16 games, and even then, that was a late penalty to get them the result. So, to me, that form is horrendous. They obviously decided to make it official, the change of coach, with Arthur Pappas leaving and Stephen Downs being installed as the interim. It hasn't gone their way, though. They may have been good enough to take the lead against South Melbourne and Heidelberg United, but any new manager bounce was perhaps lost by playing against some stronger teams, and then on the final day of the season, it opened up for them to escape, but they still got beaten 3-1 by Kingston City. How do you explain Gully's collapse, given that they were only 5 points off the top of the league after 10 games?
It's very difficult to explain. That midway point of the season, something happened. Not sure what exactly it is, but their form has plummeted ever since. And you mentioned that 1-0 victory over Oakley midway through the campaign. They've been their sole 3 points. It's really quite inexcusable, particularly when you look at the quality on that team. Guys like Nick Cruceratis, Mitch Cooper, even ex-A-League players like the aforementioned Cooper, Manny Muscat, Callum Richardson, and so on. It's not good enough.
Let's take a look at the lineups today. Green Gully, Lucas Spinella, Jordan Hall, Callum Richardson, Jay Davies, George Lambatteritis, Nick Cruceratis, Mitch Cooper, Christian Cavallo, Sam Mitchinson, Josh Baresi and Jeremy Walker. Damir, I put it to you that there is not a single player there that if Gully were relegated today would not find a new home in the top flight.
I would tend to agree. I mentioned the quality beforehand. Players there that have been in and around the A-League, they shouldn't be at this game today for whatever reason they are, and they really need to put some pride back into Green Gully, because aside from it being a really good squad on paper, it is a Victorian Football Institute, one of the most successful Victorian State League clubs. I don't think too many people associated with Green Gully would have had NPL 2 on the mind when they came into this season.
And never mind that, less than 2 years ago, they were beating Central Coast in the FFA Cup, and if you'd asked me then, who's more likely to get relegated in the next couple of years, dare I say it might have been the Mariners rather than Gully. It's extraordinary.
It very much is so, and although they weren't able to keep some of those players from, I guess, more illustrious or clubs with deeper pockets in the NPL, such as Liam Boland, Evan Christodoulou, and so on, they still haven't performed up to expectations. And I know we've spent quite a bit of this pre-game talking about Green Gully in dismal form, but I think that credit must go to Moreland City for the way that they rebounded from a disappointing FA Cup early round exit to really come into this game with a lot of momentum.
Well, they lost Jesse Macaronis during the year to a torn ACL, so he's not here today. But Kieran McDowell, the recently crowned goalkeeper of the year, is between the sticks. Jordan Lampard, Matthew Reid, Daniel Jones, Osman Koza, Corey Thomas, Lissandro Paz, Arpai Akuno, Stelios Konstantinidis, Tyler James, and Chris Cristaldo. As the teams come out onto the pitch, Demir, quickly, your tip.
I'm going to say Green Gully.
All right, your commentary team for today will be headed by Matthew McNamara. And let's throw it up to the commentary box now because Matty Mack is ready to take it away.
Well, thank you, Teo, and what a day it's going to be here at Amy Park. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of Football Federation Victoria, I'd like to welcome to what is going to be a massive day of football here. It's a triple header of huge games, and this one kicks us off first. The promotion and relegation game, Green Gully and Moreland City, as the two teams just line up. Just waiting to see what the proceedings will start with today, but wow, Gully, one of the last 16s, all they've won. It's going to be a very, very big game. Of course, they're without their captain, Joe Franich, who's no longer with them, I understand. It's going to be a massive game. We'll be joined shortly by Demir Kulash as well, our local expert of Victorian football, as the two teams shake hands. Referee Lachlan Keevers will be in charge today. Amy Park, a lovely venue, a massive venue. It's the biggest stage for the biggest games here in Victoria. And what a game to start with, promotion and relegation. Sometimes these games mean more to clubs than an NPL title itself. The opportunity for Moreland City to get promoted and find themselves back in the top flight of Victorian football. They're one of the oldest clubs here in Victoria against Green Gully, a powerhouse, a club that should be challenging for titles, but instead they're here playing for their NPL Victoria lives. It's a huge clash, and just moments away as the two teams come together and the captains are tossing their coin, getting tongue-tied nice and early. It's like Green Gully have won the toss and they'll be staying as is. So Green Gully operating from left to right at this stage. Moreland City from right to left. The official photographs taking place. We've run through the lineups earlier, but for those of you who are just joining us, we'll go through those again in just a moment. The crowd certainly building. The camera doesn't do it justice, unfortunately. Only one camera at the moment. The commentary side of things and the camera side is certainly quite busy. In a moment we'll be joined by Demir Kulash as well, who's just made his way into the commentary box. Some great work earlier, Demir and Teo. So we've got a triple header of games today. It's certainly going to be an entertaining day. I'd like to welcome Demir Kulash. So Demir, welcome, and thanks for making your way in. You've given your prediction. It's Green Gully, you think?
Thank you for having me, Matthew McNamara. Yes, until I see it, I won't believe it. I don't think Green Gully is a team set for NPL 2 with the quality that they've got on the pitch. But then again, it's really inexcusable that second half season slump.
And we're underway. The NPL promotion relegation game kicked off by Moreland City. Straight away they head forward, send the ball up to Arpai Akuno. Demir, just a quick one, mate. You're on the stats. The pitch has been brought in a little bit, or is it not to what it normally is for an A-League game? It looks a little bit narrow, but no, Demir's just doing his surveying. He's getting his iPhone out to try and get some stats. Calling the encyclopedia. Spinella. It's a slippery surface. You had the chance to walk around on the surface before, Demir. It's a little bit bumpy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously we've had the rugby league here just a few nights ago, and it will hamper, I guess, the pitch quality a bit. But all in all, I think this is a much better pitch than most of these players are used to over the course of a Victorian Football League winter. I mean, Moreland City, I think it's not a disservice to the club to say that Campbell Reserve will be one of the least attractive NPL venues if they do go up, and also Green Gully have had a lot of pitch problems over the past few seasons, so I think both these two teams will be quite pleased to be out playing on this surface out here today.
Well, it certainly will be. It's a fantastic surface, and well done to the FFV for securing Amy Park for such an important triple header of games. We are live and interactive today as well. You can join in the fun on Facebook. Oh, it's a strong challenge as well. Very good, nice and early. Joining the commentary if you like to leave a comment. Give us your opinion. The offside flag goes up rather late, and Spinella just collects. Jeez, Rhino, we could have put his flag up a little bit earlier, but I'll try not to talk about referees today. I got my friend in the middle, Lachlan Keevers. Me and him have had some good exchanges over the years, including the recent one at Gold Medal night the other night. We had a good chat, so it was good.
And he hasn't issued out a first-minute yellow, which is, I know, something that you really don't like.
Well, Demir, I've seen your refereeing performances in the past, so we'll leave them. James Stark says Green Gully 3-1. Okay, keep the predictions coming through. Like, share this post on Facebook. Comment your score predictions. It is going to be an absolute cracker. I'm thinking we might go the distance here to Demir. I think this could be a very, very tough game for both teams, and you certainly don't want to lose.
Yeah, I'd say Green Gully, if they are to win this, will win this in extra time.
So extra time prediction in Gully. We'll get to the action. Jay Davies, he's a man central to what Green Gully can do. We'll find Chris Aratis. This will be fouled, but Chris Aratis out wide. Comes through. Chris Aratis still coming in the area. Oh, he's done quite well. Fantastic challenge from Corey Thomas, the captain, in the first corner of the game. Very well done from Nick Cruceratis. Just getting past Jordan Lampard. Aussie Kosa coming across as well. Corey Thomas does well. Jeremy Walker take the throw in. Former Melbourne City player. He played this ground quite a lot. He played for, well, might have been Melbourne Heart when he was the club before a stint at Hume City and overseas as well. Perth Glory recently. Has a good little dink into the area. McDowell just comfortable.
There's quite a few Green Gully players here with Melbourne Heart, Melbourne City links. Not only Walker, but also Sam Mitchinson was a part of John Aloisi's 2012-2013 senior playing squad. Also, Callum Richardson was a short-term signing in the, from memory, 2014-15 season, and also Christian Cavallo, who was on the fringes of the senior team not too long ago.
Thank you to Demir Kulash, our resident expert here. Gully looked to push forward. Broken up by Daniel Jones. Former Gully player himself, Demir.
Yes, him and Matthew Reid, the two central defenders. Of course, Reid and Jones played for Gully up until last season and were involved in that famous FA Cup victory over the Central Coast Mariners, less than just over 24 months ago.
And what a night that was. Liam Boland making a name for himself, and he's certainly continued to do so with his exploits in both the NPL and the FFA Cup. Scored a double recently as well, didn't he, on Wednesday night, Liam Boland?
Correct, he did, and he's certainly a big game player, and I'm sure Avondale will be looking to him later tonight in that grand final against Heidelberg United.
Free kick, set piece. Cristaldo over the ball. Dinks it in the area, looking for a Kuno. Oh, deflected there. Matthew Reid got a touch before Lisandro Paz. Probably unexpected, and Spinella cleaned up easily. And this Moreland City team, Demir, there's a little bit of A-League experience in there. What can you tell us about them?
Well, we of course remember Christopher Cristaldo was on the books of victory for a couple of seasons, mainly in their youth team squad, but he did make his senior debut for the victory here at this stadium, and from memory he did score a goal against in a 3-2 defeat against Perth Glory. When you look at across the field, also one player who's not playing today that I'm sure Adrian Mathis and his coaching staff would have loved to have out on the field is Jesse Macronis, who of course suffered a season-ending knee injury. We remember him from his time in the A-League with the likes of Victory and Adelaide.
Just hold on, because Lisandro Paz driving down the right-hand side. Looks to try and get past Callum Richardson. He wins the ball. In our second corner of the day. I've got a little update on Jesse Macronis. Demir, I heard he was a real shout to play this one. Teo mentioned it was an ACL injury. I thought it might have been an MCL injury. And I'm hearing he trained all week. So, anyway, we'll come back to that. The corner. Moreland City with an opportunity. It's drifted in. Spinella complaining of Akuno just getting in his way. It's the third corner of the game. Yes, so Jesse Macronis trained all week with Moreland City, gave it his best to get up, but I believe he ruled himself out. So,
yeah, Jesse Macaroon is still a young player, so I don't think he wants to risk suffering further injury, particularly with a full off season coming up, where I'm sure he'd be looking to maybe get himself back into the top flight, whether it's with Moreland City or another team is another question.
ball into the area. Lambertarides gets up well. You mentioned George Lambertarides stint at Brisbane Roar.
True, he's another player that was on the books of an A-League club, George Lambertarides. From memory, he did score for the Brisbane Roar in the final ever A-League game for the now defunct Gold Coast United, a 2-1 victory, of course. That was under the tutelage of Ange Postecoglou up at the Roar, but he had a lot of issues earlier on in his career with injury, a lot of knee injuries, but he's come back strongly in the NPL, and he's been one of Gully's better performance this season.
Absolutely. Some comments coming through on Facebook. Adrian Farah, do we buy tickets at the ground for the men's final? Adrian, the gates are open, the ticket booths are open. You can buy tickets here, so feel free to come along. Plenty of time. 6:30 p.m. kickoff for the men's game. Of course, get along earlier. It's a huge clash at 3:30. South Melbourne and Bulleen in the women's final. Another cracker. Long ball dealt with by Walker. Moreland City looking quite comfortable so far. We'll run through the lineups again for Demir. For those who've just joined us, in just a moment. Going to clear their lines. Davies, he's the man that's so central to this Green Gully team. He's got a fire for them to get going today. Okay, so we'll run through the lineups just for those who are just joining us. So Green Gully, number 1, Lucas Spinella. Number 4, Jordan Hall. Number 6, Callum Richardson. 7, Jay Davies. Number 8, George Lambertarides. Number 11, Nick Cruceratis. 14, Mitch Cooper. 16, Christian Cavallo. 20, Sam Mitchison. 21, Sam Baresi. And 25, Jeremy Walker. So plenty of A-League experience, and as Teo suggested earlier, there's players there who can certainly fit into any other NPL team. And Moreland City, the NPL 2 goalkeeper of the year, Kieran McDowell. Jordan Lampard is on the ball now, number 3. Matthew Reid, number 4. Daniel Jones, number 5. 2 former Gully players. Osman Kosa, number 7. Corey Thomas, the captain, number 8. Lissandro Paz, number 10. Apaya Kuno, the NPL 2 Golden Boot winner, number 11. The speedster, Constantinidis, number 12. And 17, Tyler James. And 22, Christopher Cristaldo. It's Cristaldo there with a crunching tackle with Jeremy Walker. And Lockie Keever's not very impressed with that one. And he's going to go to the pocket. No surprise.
Early yellow, one of your favourites,
Early
Matty.
yellow. No, nothing worse for games. But that's okay. There didn't appear to be too much in it, but Cristaldo, the first one into the book, as we see on the replay.
Yeah.
Oh, wowee. Wowee. Okay.
I think maybe on ground level, it looked a bit worse than what it actually was. But I think he just went a bit too aggressively there, Christopher Cristaldo, and caught Jeremy Walker. Whether it's a yellow card is up for debate.
We won't debate it. We'll stick with Lockie Keever's interpretation. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt early on.
Let's be diplomatic towards our referees, Matty.
Absolutely, I always am. It's a long ball. Kieran McDowell. Has he got the best beard in the league? In the NPL 2, I'll give Dave his mate. He's one of his best mates, Davey Van Skip. He might have the best one in NPL 1. Kieran McDowell, the best in NPL 2.
Look, you're really testing my NPL 2 knowledge here, because I haven't seen a lot of NPL 2 football over the course of this season. But it'll certainly be up there.
Jordan Lampard, former Port Melbourne and former Hume player.
Correct.
Play the ball in the area, and easy for Spinella.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but also former Brisbane Roar youth team player.
I think you are correct. I won't argue with the encyclopedia. Tamir Kulash, the Victorian football expert.
Just a quick one, Matty. Going into the season, if someone had told these Green Gully players that come their final game of the season they'd be playing it at Amy Park, would a lot of them assume that would have been in the grand final?
Well, absolutely. I think they weren't raging favourites, but they were very warm favourites.
They were within the discussion.
Absolutely. So it's quite disappointing in what they've done this year. 1 win in 16, Demir. they started off well. The thing is, you could talk about this in the middle of April, and they were going to be here at Amy Park in the final.
And no one would have questioned you, I guess.
Absolutely not. So we'll hold on a moment.
As to whether that was an NPL Grand Final or a promotion relegation playoff. But I know you're quite close to one Green Gully player who's not here today, not out on the field, that is, in Kieran Dover. Have you gotten any insight as to what's gone wrong?
No, haven't spoken to Kieran about the team. As we see the ball nodded back to Spinella.
We do have a comment from Adam Paul, who reckons that Simon O'Donnell from Langwarren has the best speed in NPL 2.
Can't say I've ventured down to Langwarren to watch too many games. They do some great production, and we do see quite a bit of their stuff on social media.
I must admit, I missed the commentary of Liam Bentley.
Liam Bentley, of course, now with Northern New South Wales football. And they'll be hosting their grand final shortly as well, I'm sure. Oh, ball given away at the back from Matthew Reid. Ball comes across. Baresi. Lambertaridis. Oh, chance for Gully. Oh, and then a foul. It's a little bit cynical. That's more of a yellow than the first one, I would have thought.
And Cristaldo's making that point.
Absolutely. Maybe it's his first foul, so Christian Cavallo. A little bit lucky to escape Lockie Keeves. Lockie normally reaches the pocket. We see the replay. Baresi just sets the ball back. Lambertaridis with a chance.
I'm not sure that was the best pass from Baresi. I think that Mitch Cooper, who was much closer to goal, would have been a better option.
Of course, some fabulous images being broadcast today. Some of the best in the business. Once again, another foul. It's quite a healthy crowd. Unfortunately, the cameras don't do it justice. We might get some images for you later on. There's quite a healthy crowd here in front of us.
And credit to Football Federation Victoria for organising this grand final at Amy Park.
As good as Akuno cuts the ball back. Thomas! Moreland City take the lead. Apai Akuno linking up with Corey Thomas. He slots the ball in the back of the net. Moreland City 1, Green Gully 0. Damir Kulash are Green Gully on the way to NPL 2.
Well, they haven't made the best possible start here. Moreland City take the lead, and we know Apai Akuno is a lot of trouble for opposition defences, and he proved that there. He's set it up nicely for Corey Thomas to ram the ball home, and the Welshman gives Moreland City the perfect start. A player that was at the club during their State League 1 days might have just scored the goal that sets them on their way to the NPL.
Unbelievable, absolute scenes here at Amy Park. Green Gully, a name that you just think top flight football. And right now, as things stand, they'll be playing in NPL 2 next year, unless they can at least find the back of the net once today.
Well, it is still early days, 15 minutes gone. There's plenty of time for them. They've got plenty of quality in this team, but how much of a psychological blow will conceding the first goal be for them?
Oh, it's a massive team. Let's see what they can do. They've got a great list of players. It's Tyler James just to rotate the ball for Matthew Reid. Lumps it upfield, looking for Akuno. Corey Thomas, he's done quite well, releasing Akuno. Tracked by Richardson, who's very strong, and Lockie Keever says no foul. And goal kick. Some great images of the crowd. It's quite a strong crowd here today. Unfortunately, we do only have one side of the ground open at the moment, but very, very well packed, and we are looking for a crowd of somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000, I'm told.
Yes, we were having the discussion about the, the good job the FFV has done in getting this game back to Amy Park. Of course, do you know what happened last time that an NPL Grand Final was played at Amy Park?
What, was it the Northcote game?
Yes, Northcote Bentley. That was a classic.
I was here for the game. It was a cracker.
And we hope that all three of today's games are very much produce the same level of drama as that one did.
Oh, absolutely. We've got some drama already in Moreland City. Their president said during the week they're a pub team.
I don't think he specifically said that, Matty, but a long-standing drive directed at Moreland City has been the fact that they are a pub team, and it's carried on into the NPL era, as we see Lockie Keevers call a foul there on against the Moreland City player, Jordan Lampard.
Chance now for Jay Davies, a master of the set piece. Davies looks to find Cruceratus. One-on-one with Lampard. Cruceratus, of course, having trials of the Central Coast Mariners earlier this year. Walker, Davies. They produce. Alan Richardson travelling forward, scooping the ball over the top, but to nobody, and McDowell gets on the end of it. Demir, what do you make of this start from Moreland City?
Look, I think they've been very compact as we see Mitchinson drift into the area.
Just hold on a moment. Come back to you, Demir. Jay Davies going to push forward. Castaldo. Cruceratus. Combining well with Baresi. Cruceratus delivers the ball into the area. Oh, Cavallo arriving late. Lambertarides. Moreland City defending quite well so far. Giving too much space in that final third. I won't say they've parked the bus, but they've camped nice and deep. Very, very hard to penetrate. There's a big ground here, Amy Park, but they put certain numbers in front of it. Very challenging. As Richardson carries on again. He's fouled. An opportunity now for Green Gully. It's like the left-footed Cavallo going over there to me.
Yeah, Christian Cavallo, who we have seen in recent seasons deployed as a attacking fullback. He's playing in a more advanced role today, and I guess that's also epitomises a lot of the struggles going forward that Green Gully have had over the last 3 months or so.
Chance now for Gully. Cavallo over the ball.
But he's a very good attacking player, Christian Cavallo. He had a bit of a stint at bullying a couple of seasons back, and I thought he was outstanding.
He certainly did. It was enough to get him a recall, wasn't it?
Yes, to the Melbourne City youth team.
Okay, so Cavallo over the ball. What can he deliver? It comes. Oh, it's a fantastic ball. Lambertarides got very, very close. Jones clears away for Moreland City.
And back to Christian Cavallo, I also do hear that his younger brother Josh is a quality player himself, currently on the books of Melbourne City.
He certainly is. Very, very good young player. He's also, I think, been in the Australian setups as well. It's Moreland City in the grandstand, or the broadcast side of the ground. And you get it long. Fourth official's one of your mates, isn't it, Demir?
Pascalis Natus, who
good friend of yours.
Has had action-packed season, I guess.
Nice way of putting it. No, he's okay. Got some great camera work today. Cameras all around the ground. Roving cameras. It's wonderful. No expense spared for this showpiece day, the triple header. 3 massive games here at Amy Park. So Cavallo released, cutting the ball across the face of goal. Lampard just putting it wide.
We see a comment from Ben Wadden coming in about no Cook today. I assume he's referring to Nathan Cook, who did start off the campaign at Green Gully, but left pretty early on, and I can't say that I've cited him since, unless he's gone down to the state leagues.
Might get our researchers to jump on and have a look at that one. See where Cookie is.
Looked like a quality addition to the Green Gully playing squad in the second half of last campaign.
Good play up as we get Mickey Kalina as well. Of course, a hero of North Geelong Warriors. His recent job at Melbourne Knights, and fantastic coach. To see a late challenge coming in, and Lockie Keevers As he does, straight to the pocket. And Cavallo picks up a yellow. So, Mickey, thanks for watching, mate.
Can I go Lucy Zelich on you? It's Mickey Trollina.
Oh, my apologies. I've offended the community.
I don't think you've offended it. I'm just being a bit pedantic.
Some comments coming through. Keep the comments coming through, guys. We are live and interactive. We are reading them all.
And thanks to Wayne for pointing out that Cook is at Altona City, who were they State 1 or State 2 this year?
That was State League 1.
That's right. Demon Hoppers Crossing got promotion last year.
Well, it's a strong challenge from Jay Davies. He's won the ball, but maybe a little bit reckless.
He is quite aggressive in his tackling, Jay Davies.
People are asking us, how can they get tickets for today's game? You can buy tickets at the gate. They are available still. Thank you to Bob Brown, very big supporter of football in Victoria, getting involved. Thank you, Bob, for your comments. Cristaldo over the ball now. Cristaldo delivers. Thomas just over the bar.
Bob would certainly have a lot of good memories of Amy Park. It was, of course, the place that Dandenong Thunder sealed their treble-winning campaign in 2012 with that grand final victory over the Oakley Cannons.
They rocketed to success that year. Spinella launching a long ball. Tyler James moving it forward for Gully, but a throw in to Jeremy Walker. Comment from Jackson Trundle, since when did Manny Muscat play in the NPL? Manny Muscat's been at Green Gully
mid-season?
Since mid-season, and my understanding is that Manny Muscat hasn't won a game at Green Gully this year. So it's been quite a while. And he's on the bench today. I'm sure we'll see him, absolutely no doubt we'll see him Demir later on. Oh, great touch, Osman Kosa. Some of the crowd getting involved, loving it. Comes to Paz. What can he do? Bright orange boots as a strike. He takes a deflection. Out for yet another corner. The treble for Dandenong. It's causing all sorts of dramas on the comments. They're loving it, the Dandenong fans. It was a fantastic year for the club. Chris Taylor was in charge that year, wasn't he, Demir?
He was indeed. A coach who came within a few penalty kicks from making it to another grand final.
He did. Good ball in. Lampard, but it's like Matthew Reid. A little shove in his opponent.
Looks a bit different, Matthew Reid, with the hair cut down.
Thank you for commenting on his appearance, Demir.
I'm just saying, he looks a bit younger, Matty.
Okay, thank you. We'll pass that feedback on to him later on.
I'm sure he'd care. I'm sure he'd care.
Oh, absolutely. How old's Matthew Reid?
Wouldn't be able to tell you. Although I do know our good mate Nathan Sack did play in the same Green Gully youth team as him.
Okay, so he's about 23, 24. Nathan Sack, of course, filming today in MS Media. One of the media suppliers today. Davies, Corey Thomas coming together.
And we do have a comment coming in the comment section affirming to your point earlier on about the pitch being made narrower. Thank you to Bob McGuinness for that comment.
Bob McGuinness, he must be following me around, Bob. He was commenting yesterday when I was doing the game at Amy Park, the NPL 2 Grand Final.
ABD Stadium, Matty.
That's right. Thank you to the encyclopedia. It looks a little bit shorter, Bob, but now I think about it, it might not be, because they do bring in a little bit for the football, but we are getting the statisticians to try and tell us.
And referring to that NPL 2 Grand Final yesterday at ABD Stadium, Semi Sivic, the Dandenong City assistant coach, asking whether the...
Let's hold on a moment. So we see Gully getting through. And a great chance for Baresi. Just over the bar. Sorry to cut you off, Demir.
No, you're fine. Asking whether the NPL 2 Grand Final has been playing today, I assume quite sarcastically. But it was a good day for Dandenong City yesterday, wasn't it, Matty?
It certainly was. It certainly was. I mean, they went out to a 3-0 lead and looked quite comfortable over Altona, but Of course, did it with 10 men after Daniel Vicevic was sent off.
Former Magic player himself.
Thank you. The comments keep coming through. Archie Onus, Demir, you're a legend. Thank you, Archie, for your comments. Much appreciated. Bobby McGuinness, you've always been my hero, Matty. Well, Bobby, I'll never forget who taught me what I know, mate. And you did one of the best coaches in Victoria. You see a little coming together at the moment of Jay Davies and Corey Thomas. Bobby's team won the State League 1 Women's this year. I'm just trying to confirm that, but yes, Eltham did win the State League 1 Women's, so they lost the final. Okay, sorry, Bobby. I was trying to give you a pump up.
So, from what I also hear, quite a distinguished player back in his playing day.
Absolutely was. Sharp finisher was Bobby McGuinness. Gully to drive forward. Cooper can't beat Aussie Kosa. Comment from Dimitri. We're showing all the games today. Yes, Dimitri, we are. It's a triple header here at Amy Park. The Pro Rel playoff, the game you're watching now. At 3:30, Bulleen and South Melbourne will play host in the NPLW final before the big one, Avondale and Heidelberg, 6:30 p.m. tonight. Ball in behind. Kieran McDowell making sure it was his. Peter says Green Gully not looking good. Hasn't been the best start, Peter, but we're only 29 minutes in. Still plenty of time for this Green Gully team. Did you change, Demir? Are you still on the Green Gully bandwagon here?
I wouldn't say I'm on the bandwagon. I think that's where my pre-game tip went, and I'm still sticking by it, although they haven't made a good start.
Well, they might now. Chris Aratis coming through, the great strike. Kieran McDowell getting down quite well. Gully, just as I was about to, I won't say write them off, but just question where they're at. I send Cruceratus in. He's so dangerous, this Cruceratus. Can't afford to give him any opportunities. Moreland again, defending nice and deep, very compact, making it hard for this experienced and quality Green Gully outfit.
Just a bit too much on that cross from Carvalho. I think Cruceratus will be kicking himself for not putting it either side of Kieran McDowell with that opportunity that he had just a minute ago.
I think it's a fantastic chance.
I think it's Green Gully's best chance of this game. Of course, they had that little half chance earlier on where Baresi cut it back to Lambertorides, but the Moreland City players were quite sharp in their closing down of that opportunity. And overall, they've made quite a good start, irrespective of their lead, Moreland City.
Certainly have. Cooper gives the ball away rather cheaply to Paz. Just all over him, but Lockie Keevers lets this one go. Cruceratus now. Strong challenge from Matty Reid. Moreland City look to be released. Cristaldo, if he can find Paz, he's in a lot of space. Paz driving forward in the right-hand side. Akuno in the middle. He looks for Akuno. Just under-hits the pass. Jordan Hall is getting there first, but Cristaldo's back on the ball. Another chance for Moreland City. Cristaldo turning it over too easily, unfortunately, and Lambertorides, he loves his left foot. Looks to release Cruceratus. Can he beat Jordan Lampard? From Matthew Reid, backing up as well. It's a neat little ball into Baresi. Back to Cruceratus. It's a great stop. Good challenge. Good opportunity there, Demir, for Green Gully.
It was, and I think that in hindsight, they just didn't have, I guess, the space to have a clean shot there at goal, but certainly promising signs in the last 5 or so minutes for Green Gully. They look a bit better than their early shaky start.
I do see another great picture of the crowd. Fortunately, one side of the ground open, but it does look fantastic down below us. Plenty of green and green and white. There are some Moreland City fans as well. Lampard finds Cristaldo. He's been okay so far, but on a yellow card, Cristaldo. Both him and Christian Cavello been booked so far. Gully bring the ball forward. Richardson. Keep those comments coming through. We are reading them all. The ball must be cleared away. Constantinidis.
Intercepted here by Lamadoritis.
When did Constantinidis become a right back, Damien? I always knew he was a fast, pacey winger with 99 pace. He's always hard to play against.
He was a bit similar to, in terms of using his pace as one of his most prominent attributes to Wolves player Dama Traore. I believe he's been deployed in that position on a number of occasions this year. Of course, he is a man who has promotion experience previously with Kingston City a couple of seasons ago, and he made the move to Moreland City at the beginning of this term, and he's been a consistent performer throughout the course of the campaign. One question I wanted to put to you, Moreland City already coming into the game in a better state given the momentum they're on, whereas Green Gully, it's right the exact opposite. Given the fact that most of their players have never played at Amy Park apart from Cristaldo, do you think that given the occasion they might rise to it as opposed to Green Gully, for whom many of these players, this isn't the biggest game of their careers?
Well, it's an interesting call. So far the players have certainly risen to the occasion. It's Gully with the corner. Cleared away of Matthew Reid. Finds Jay Davies. Richardson going to get the ball back into the area, and Lampard again, another corner.
And look, each and every one of these Green Gully players wouldn't want to be known as being part of that Green Gully squad. That was the one that went down, because Green Gully is a proud Victorian Football Institute. I think they're the most successful state league side with 9 championships under their name, and have dominated much of the scene in the early...
Oh, some confusion. And that ball being swung in. Kuno a little bit tangled, I thought. And you see some great footage. Kuno tried to clear the ball, but McDowell smothered it up and made it his own. And he knows if he keeps a clean sheet from here on in, his team will be playing in the NPL next year.
Yeah, back to the earlier point, Green Gully, of course, have continued on their success into the 21st century, won a number of championships under the tutelage of guys like Lubo Lapsansky, Paul Harris and so on, Peter Ollerton, and have had quite distinguished players, including the man who proceeds over their touchline, Stephen Downs.
Absolutely. Should we bring back Dobbo? Should Dobbo have come back?
That's right, Ian Dobson, probably the most distinguished coaching name to come out of Green Gully in the past 2 or so decades. Of course, he did win an NSL championship with the Melbourne Knights in the mid-90s as well, and I think he's a coach who's been greatly missed in Australian football ever since.
Did a fantastic job with the Green Gully team. Very, very successful. And one of his alumni will be taking the reins of Avondale FC later today as well. Zoran Markovski, a man who tells me he's never lost a grand final. So he'll be wanting to keep that record later on. And Anthony Barbieri is suspended today, I believe, the coach of Avondale. So Markovski taking the reins.
And he was part of those formidable Green Gully squads that dominated much of the state league scene.
Just hold on there. There's a Pia Kuno to be in behind, but Lockie Keevers says no, you got him in the back. Zoki will tell you, mate, I'm a winner. That's it. So grand final is what he lives for, that bloke.
He is, and he was a one of those players that did follow Ian Dobson around. Both experienced National League success with the Melbourne Knights in that 95-96 season, as well as later State League success with the English-born coach.
Kusharatis trying to get this gully side going. Can't do so. And Kuno. Cristaldo looking to find Ozzy Kosa. Jeremy Walker getting in the way. Kuno now flicks the ball on to Cristaldo. Deflects off Cristaldo to Ozzy Kosa. Kosa, strike, but Richardson too strong in the way, and Ressi can't hold the ball up. And they turn over the ball again.
Maybe
it's a long thumping ball from Daniel Jones. Kosa looks to deliver. Finds a Kuno. His flick. This falls in the hands of Spinella. Those comments still coming through. Thank you to Squizzy Taylor, Ange Bantis. We are live and interactive. Leave your comments. We can see them all.
One man with experience of coaching in such an occasion is Mickey Trolina, who has made a comment.
Hold you there, Demir. It's a ball's played wide. Cooper has a strike. Well saved from Kieran McDowell. Falls to Crisaratis. Puts it back in the area. Cooper attacking the ball. Can't get enough on it. Jordan Lampard will get rid of it. Sorry, Demir.
No, you're fine.
Of course, Demir Kulash, the Victorian football expert today. As Cristaldo picks the pocket of Jordan Hall. Now, Jordan Hall could be in the book here.
You think it's a yellow card offence?
Well, let's not make presumptions. It looks like a yellow card offence. And it will be. So yellow card at Jordan Hall. Well, Cristaldo just picked his pocket, didn't he?
Yeah,
you see on the replay now, the ball comes down, Hall gets it. Good work from Cristaldo, and then Hall just holds on for dear life.
And it's a pull by Jordan Hall.
It's a yellow card. It's our third of the game. One of those men who has been booked is Christopher Cristaldo, and he'll be taking this set piece. Lockie Keevers gets out the spray. And a chance now for Moreland. An opportune time to score. Just approaching 40 minutes. So it's Cristaldo over the ball. Cristaldo delivers. Oh, it's a late challenge from Matthew Reid. He's got stuck into Spinella. Gets a yellow card. Spinella's down.
I think the key question there, Matty, is could Matthew Reid have pulled out of that challenge? Yeah, just the boot was raised a bit too high there. Not Roy O'Donovan high, but I think he could have pulled out of that.
Yeah, not Roy O'Donovan high. It's not too bad to me. I like that one. Done well. Spinella gets back underway.
Back to one of the earlier comments we had in the comment section by Mickey Trolina, who's saying that this game is starting to display a lot of the same traits as the 2016 Pro Rel playoff, which the North Geelong Warriors, of course, won by beating Richmond quite convincingly in the end. And it's such an interesting game because you have, I guess, two contrasting moods going into the game. You have one team that's got confidence aplenty, and you've got another team that is quite low on confidence, as we have seen with Green Gully throughout the second part of the campaign.
And we see a cynical foul from Corey Thomas, absolutely creaming Cavallo. I'm safe to say he had no intention of going for the ball here. Yeah, nah. I think that's a fair call. So Corey Thomas into the book.
One of those ones that can be categorised as being orange.
It's no more than a yellow to me. There's no even thought it's anything more.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a red card, but you know, he knows that Christopher Cristaldo is getting past him and he's intent on stopping him with no attempt to get the ball.
Yeah, I think Cavallo was going past him. So see Walker to deliver into the area. Falls down for Crucerades, keeps it in. Mitchison to get his left foot and deliver, I'm sure. Paz does well. Moreland clear their lines. And again, Gully still struggling in that final third. To me, only 3 minutes to tick down until we get to half time. What's your message if you're Stephen Downs?
Well, they need to score. It's quite simple. They started the game, I thought, quite nervously, and it was reflected in the way that they had trouble dealing with Apayo Kuno, who, of course, grabbed that assist for Corey Thomas. But they've come back into the game since then. It's really about finding the equaliser.
Ball in. Matthew Reid once again getting up and getting the ball away. He's done quite well so far, been quite solid. Moreland City in the counter. Thomas. Matthew Reid again. Sending it forward to Aussie Kosa. Lets it run out. Interesting. So more comments coming through. A little bit of debate. It could have been a red card, or some people saying there's a red card coming today. I don't doubt that. The way the game's gone so far. These games mean a lot. Cavallo just tangling with Lampard. Winning a free kick.
We did mention that most of the time the team that's come from NPL 2 does start this game off as the favourites, just due to the nature of the fact that they have confidence coming into the game. It wasn't the case last season, wasn't Matty, with the Melbourne Knights avoiding relegation to the second tier by beating Dandenong City.
Convincingly.
Yeah, and that was via Kim Harris hat-trick, and it was really only late on that Dandenong City got a couple of consolation goals to make the scoreline look a bit better for them.
It was. Come back to you in a moment, Demir. More insights. Crucerades on the edge of the area. We'll find Davies to get it out wide to Walker. Jeremy Walker just rotating the ball. This Moreland City team are defending quite well. You know, when you've got the experience of Matthew Reid and Daniel Jones, very, very hard to break down. It's a long diagonal ball, though, to Cavallo, who switched sides with Crucerades. Loves his left foot, does Cavallo. Once again, Davies is trying to enter this final third, having some trouble. Moreland City pressing well. Corey Thomas, the captain, leading by example. Gully just moving the ball side to side before wastefully just hoofing it away.
And unlike that game last season, of course the Melbourne Knights made a bright start to the game, and they were facing a similar proposition going on into that game by being one of not only Victorian football's proudest football institutes, but also Australian football's proudest clubs, and they were facing the proposition of going down into NPL 2 for the first time in a number of decades, but it wasn't to be, because they gave their best performance of the season on the day, got the better of Dandenong City, and I think a similar performance is needed for Green Gully here today, and going by what we've seen in this opening 45 minutes, they've fallen well short of that.
They certainly have. We are into added time at the end of the first half, which will be 2 minutes of added time. And really, this Green Gully team right now have 1 foot in NPL 2 next year. Crucerades trying to find Baresi. Dow just cleaning up.
And of course, Moreland City was a club that wasn't part of the NPL in the inaugural campaign of 2014. They won the State League 1 title that year, and from there were able to achieve elevation into the second tier Victorian football, and have made plenty of positive strides since then.
They certainly have. Thomas and Cristaldo link up, turning the ball over. Only 30 seconds ago. launch one final attack for this Green Gully team this first half. Walker sending it forward, but Lampard is there, finds a Kuno. Can Moreland City do something before the end? No. Serratus just battling with Constantinides. So played the allotted 2 minutes, and that is half time. So referee Lockie Keevers brings the first half to an end. And at half time here of the promotion and relegation game, Moreland City lead 1-0. We'll shortly throw down to Demir Kulash and Teo Pellizzeri for the halftime update.
Importantly, this all becomes possible with strong, vibrant, resilient clubs.
So what we've got to do is get the kids back into the joys of team spirit, the camaraderie. We're all a brotherhood, even the girls. We're all a brotherhood. And this is what bonds us and unites us. This is through this team sport and team spirit, we can teach our kids how they need to behave.
Yeah, it's always great to see the underdogs prove everyone wrong, and I guess the Matildas have that never say die attitude as well.
Hopefully I can leave a legacy and mentor these kids to know what it really is to put that green and gold jersey on.
You have to know you're the best, but be humble enough to know that you're not the best to get the job done.
Even when I mention the date, it's almost like being in church. It's a very special date for football fans in Australia.
Imagine that I am a celiac now, that I am gluten intolerant, and you are a cookie. I like you, but you make me sick.
And then we've seen that those girls then transition into mini-rees teams. We've got under 9s, or 10s and 11s, and then recently we've had some of those girls come into our under 14s, and we've ended up with a really strong under 14s group, and we've got 4 teams in that now.
I like soccer because you make new friends, and because you can do no matter whatever size you are. Well, I get to see all my friends there from school, and every time I come there's always something new to learn about, and that's really good, so we get to always try new things.
I was strongly encouraging my daughter to get involved in the Darebin Falcons because I think it's quite different in a girls' own environment. I see the girls have a lot more opportunity to have a go. I think when they're playing with the boys, the dynamic changes a bit. So the girls really love getting involved and having a go with their friends. I think the game is quite different. They get to sort of run at their own pace and develop that confidence and skill level in their own way, in their own environment.
Half-time at Amy Park, and at the moment it is Green Gully in massive trouble. Moreland City with a 1-0 lead thanks to Corey Thomas's goal. And as we dissect the first 45 minutes, Teo Pellizzeri and Demir Kulash with you. Demir, what do you think the mental state of Green Gully is down in those dressing rooms right now?
It wouldn't be in a good place, Teo. So much at stake, of course, winning this game, and particularly given that it's Green Gully out of all clubs who are facing the proposition of moving down into NPL 2. I don't think that those players, esteemed players themselves, would be liking the scoreline at this moment.
Tactically, what are you seeing in the game? What do you think needs to change? Obviously, Gully are struggling to find the back of the net through this run they've been on. What would you do if you're trying to manufacture a goal? Because the good news is they don't need to win today. They just need to get this one to extra time, get it to penalties. I guess they've got that safety net this afternoon.
Yeah, look, I think what we saw in the opening 45 minutes was the benefits of having a number 9, which Moreland City do in Apai Kuno. Green Gully, on the other hand, have Josh Baresi, an attacking midfielder, playing in that position, and it's really categorised as sorry, lost my train of thought there. Very much the way that their season's been going, with a lack of goals, a lack of firepower up front, despite the efforts of the likes of Kusaratis and Kieran Dover to hit as close to double figures as possible. They haven't been able to find the back of the net, and I think that if you're Moreland City, you just want to keep the likes of Kusaratis quite quiet in the second half, and I think that you're almost there. They've got one foot in the top flight as we speak, and they'll be looking to continue on that by being defensively solid.
One thing that could change this game, though, is a red card. We've seen a couple of the challenges. The one on the goalkeeper in particular was pretty late, and then Corey Thomas, a cynical foul, a professional foul. You called it an orange, and I'm inclined to agree with you. What are the chances that Moreland City finish the game with 10 men, and could a red card be Green Gully's avenue back into this match?
Yeah, look, the tempo was set quite early on with that yellow card to Christopher Cristaldo, and I guess we saw a few late challenges in there, breaking up play. Can most definitely happen, I think, with a red card. Particularly Lockie Kivers is known to be one of the more card-happy refs in the competition. But having said that, you don't want your players doing anything stupid, particularly if they're in the yellow. So I think both coaches will be quite active and quite tactical with their substitutions, and have that at the back of their mind.
Lots of fans have got in early. I do have to warn you that the car across the road from Amy Park is full. Only people who pre-booked tickets will be able to get in. That's due to multiple sporting events, tennis and netball also going on today. So if you are coming down, opt for public transport. You can still get tickets at the gate. Jamir, how good has the crowd been? It's really starting to build. There's a good bit of atmosphere within the stadium, and there are plenty of Moreland City fans, quite a few Gully fans, but really it's the neutrals who've been able to turn this into quite a good start to the triple header today.
Very much so, and I think one of the benefits of holding the game at Amy Park is the fact that it has that big stadium experience. And we've seen games, of course, being held at Lakeside Stadium in previous seasons. No disrespect to that stadium, but the fact that it's a rectangular arena here, fans are quite close to the action, makes it even better.
From a tactical point of view, at what point do Moreland City start to lock down and think about 1-0? At what stage do they start to think about trying to go for a second goal? If you're in the rooms there and you're Adrian Mathers, who was just crowned as Coach of the Year, I should say, on Friday night, what is the instruction here, given that so many of these players will be so excited and enlivened by the fact that they are 45 minutes away from winning promotion to the top flight of Victorian football?
Yeah, I think a lot of that will depend on what happens in the first 15-20 minutes of this second half, because if one team gets, if Moreland get another goal, they've got a bit of a buffer. Whereas if Green Gully get it, they're right back in it and they've got the ascendancy. So I think that overall, looking at the two sides, one thing that did impress me immensely about Moreland City in that opening 45 minutes was the defensive solitude of the likes of Daniel Jones, who of course is one of the most experienced campaigners, was a Green Gully boy through and through, as well as Matthew Reid, two ex-Gully players that are doing their best to neutralise the effectiveness of Gully's star-studded attack.
All right, Demir, as we go into the second half, what do you think we expect in the first 5 minutes? What's coming next?
I think that you'll see a little bit more eagerness from Green Gully to get that equaliser. It'll be interesting to see whether at any given point they panic, but overall it's going to be an interesting 45 minutes coming up, Theo.
Well, don't forget that the triple header continues. It's on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel all day, 3:30 for the women's, 6:30 for the men's, and also on the NPL Victoria Facebook. Keep your comments and your shares coming. It's been fantastic interaction throughout the course of the day. If you are coming down to Amy Park, just remember that the car park across the road is closed. Only pre-booked tickets can get in. So make sure you use PT or strategically park in a way that you can get to the venue. Tickets at the gate. It's all happening here at Amy Park this afternoon. Stay with us. Second half action is coming up very shortly.
So today we're going to hear from a number of presidents of local football clubs to get their take on the challenges they face with ground availability and facilities and lack thereof. So is there anything in particular that's getting in the way of your club being able to grow further?
Well, we've run out of space. So in spite of the fact that we've got access to 4 full-size pitches, it's limiting our ability to take on more players. Well, we've grown from a situation of having 25 teams 4 years ago to over 80 teams now for the last couple of years.
Once the season finishes, we have a problem in trying to get the kids continually skilled in football, continually playing against other teams, but there's just nowhere to play.
So what facilities in particular and how will they help your club?
The main facilities we need, firstly, pitches to be able to play on for 12 months of the year. There's a huge need for pitches to use over the summer months. Change rooms are another major issue at the moment. The quality of the change rooms is quite poor that we have, and to be able to facilitate boys, girls, men, women playing at the same time is very, very difficult.
State government, federal government and local government together working with all the clubs, we're able to achieve a lot more than if we're working against each other.
Now I'm going to speak to Peter Philopoulos from the FFE, who will talk to us about how investing in the game will help it to keep growing. So what needs to be done so that everybody can play football?
Well, what we do know is that clubs in the community are at saturation point, and that means boys and girls are missing out on opportunities to play the game of football, and that's because our facilities and infrastructure can't cope with the demand in their current form. So we are having very good dialogue with all levels of government, local government authorities, state government and also federal government, about how we can partner and find innovative solutions to investing in our facilities and infrastructure.
We certainly have received help from local, state and federal. That's taken form in rebuilt pitches, installation of lights, and eventual upgrades of club rooms. But as for everyone, again, we still need more help to be able to facilitate the members that need to play.
So there we have it. After speaking with local clubs, players and the governing body, I know as a player I'm excited to see how things unfold.
Mum's program, and they're going to come together and just enjoy football in ways that they probably haven't previously, where they can just have fun, enjoy the basics of soccer whilst meeting new people, which is the best part of the program.
We're here to guide and show the ladies how easy it is to play football. There is no judging them. You can run it, you can jog it, you can even power walk it.
I got to meet lovely, awesome, energetic new ladies, and I built up a sweat.
I literally played soccer like 25 years ago and I haven't touched it since. It's been so much fun. We've just had a ball. I was introduced through some friends of mine, and it's been such a great time meeting all the other soccer mums. It's been really good.
Yep, definitely we'll keep doing this.
Yep.
Love it.
Definitely, back in 2018, definitely.
For more information or to register interest, please visit our website at soccermums.com.au. Thank you.
Okay, and welcome back to Amy Park for this triple header. It's a massive game today. Some massive games here. And right now, it's Moreland City taking on Green Gully. And Moreland City, 1 goal to the good, 1 foot in next year's NPL. Back come Green Gully, a team who hasn't won for quite a while. All to do in the second period. My name is Matthew McNamara from Professional Football Consultants. Joining me is Demir Kulash, local Victorian football expert. Demir, what are your thoughts on the second half?
I think the first 15, 20 minutes will be key to determining how this second half shape up. Of course, with Green Gully down, it'll be interesting to see whether they panic or not, because don't imagine a lot of those players would have been hoping to or expecting to have gone down so early on, but it's been that way. And I think one of the things about that first half which gave the advantage to Moreland City is that they are playing with a designated number 9 that can give the defence plenty of trouble, whereas with Green Gully, they are playing with an attacking midfielder in Josh Bressy in that position. So the lack of firepower up front for Green Gully in terms of a designated striker is, I think, currently problematic, particularly when you've got Daniel Jones, one of the most experienced campaigners in Victorian football, marking you.
Thank you for your insights, Demir. He does know all about Victorian football. We'll run through the lineups just again. And Demir, I'd like you to check if there's been any subs at half time. So Mitchison, his trusty left foot to Davies. Richardson back to Mitchison out wide. Looks to deliver. And you mentioned Jones heads the ball away. No changes, Demir?
Not from what I can see, and I didn't see Pascalis Nadas, the full official, lift his board up to indicate any substitutions at the break.
Okay, so we will run through the teams in just a moment. Give everyone a reminder of who's out there and who's on the bench. Might also get your opinion on who might be able to come on and be a game changer, Demir. Long lofted ball. Loaded away by Walker. To Aussie Kosa. He can't beat Walker the second time. And former Melbourne City and Perth Glory man Jeremy Walker. One of my favourite right backs to me out. Worked with him at Hume City for the short time that I was there as well, and he was there for a period.
Very consistent player.
He's just an absolute professional, to be honest.
And also one of the most durable players in the competition, given his ability to run up and down that flank over the course of 90 minutes.
Okay, so we'll run through the teams once again. So Green Gully, number 1, Lucas Spinella. Number 4, Jordan Hall. Number 6, Callum Richardson. 7, Jay Davies. 8, George Lambertaridis. Number 11, Nick Cruceratis. 14, Mitch Cooper. 16, Christian Cavallo. 20, Sam Mitchinson. 21, Josh Baresi, and 25, Jeremy Walker. So we see Gully going the attack through Cooper. The linesman just lifting his flag. And Moreland City, of course, number 31, Kieran McDowell. Number 3, Jordan Lampard. Number 4, Matthew Reid. Number 5, Daniel Jones. Number 7, Osman Kosa. Number 8, Corey Thomas. Number 10, Lissandro Paz. 11, Apaya Kuno, the Golden Boot winner. Number 12, Stelios Konstantinidis. Number 17, Tyler James. Number 22, Christopher Cristaldo. But maybe more importantly to me, the two benches of these teams, we see Green Gully sitting one of their substitutes, a very experienced campaigner up to warm up. So on the bench for Green Gully, number 2, Manny Muscat, who's the captain of the club. Any idea why he's on the bench today?
I think there was a few fitness doubts about whether he'd be able to play today, and I think that they've taken a precaution of starting him on the bench.
Okay. Number 3, Adisu Biao. What can you tell us about him? Are you familiar with him?
I believe he's a 20s player. Don't know too much about him, what position he plays. He is number 3, which a lot of times suggests that he's a fullback, but apart from that, don't know too much.
Okay. Omar Abdigafar. Consistent. Well, he's been in and out of the team all year.
Yeah, and he's a player that, if I'm not mistaken, made his senior debut back in 2015 or 2014 under the previous coach whose name escapes me. But
well, if the encyclopedia can't get it, no one can.
Was it Bobby Stoichevsky?
Who's just sitting in front of us, to be honest, champ. He's just a few rows away.
That's right.
Green Gully scarf on.
And, you know, he is quite an advanced player that if they are looking for a goal, I'm sure they'll deploy him up forward to get it.
Well, the other player I'm about to mention, Rani Dewisha, goalkeeper of Altona Magic, is called for is Jonathan Brunis.
And
you won't see Brunis on your picture.
He's warming up on the right side of the field here.
He's actually been called back, so Jonathan Brunis making it.
And he's taken a bib off, which suggests that he might be coming onto the pitch shortly, and he's also taken his jacket off, so we might well just see the first substitution of the game coming up here.
Well, who do you think he replaces? That's the big question. Who's going to come off for him? Bring on big Jonathan Boonis, who'll play in the middle of the park, Demir?
Well, he might even play up front. From memory, he's spent a number of quite some time in the Melbourne Heart youth team playing in that role as a designated centre forward, Jonathan Boonis. And while we have seen him in central midfield over the course of the last few campaigns with Moreland City and Green Gully respectively, he is quite a versatile player, a presence himself, and he'll certainly give Jones and Reid a lot to handle if he does play in that role. But you also got to keep in mind the fact that there is a couple of Green Gully players that are on bookings.
We'll try and get some information as to who's coming off. Gully looked to go on the attack through Baresi, who's just dawdles in the ball. Dispossessed by Jones, looking to go on to release a Apaya Kuno. He couldn't get there. Paz breaks through. Lissandro Paz with a chance for Moreland City. Can he double their lead? Oh, Mitchison with a great challenge. Possibly could have squared it to Apaya Kuno.
That's goal saving from Mitchison. Fantastic stuff, and it's a massive get out of jail card for Green Gully.
Can they capitalise straight away? Baresi travelling forward, but again, just too slow on the ball. And will he be the man who makes way for Jonathan Boonis? Paz, Cristaldo looks to find Paz again. If Paz can keep it in, it could be some chance here for Moreland, but he can't. I think we will have that first substitution. So Jonathan Boonis will enter, and it will be Josh Baresi who does make way. No surprises after the last minute or so. He didn't look quite himself, Baresi.
Look, I think that despite Gully's poor campaign, Josh Baresi can hold his head up high, because not only has he been one of their more influential players over the course of the season, he has also gotten through a full campaign, which for a player coming off the back of 2 ACL injuries is impressive.
Certainly is. Previous player on A-League books as well, Demir?
Yeah, that's right. He was on the books of both Western Sydney Wanderers, more so in the youth team, but he was elevated up to the Newcastle Jets senior team a few seasons ago under Phil Stubbins from memory.
Really? There you go. Stubbsy, a blast in the past. The name, very famous in Victorian football, player for Heidelberg and coached Heidelberg, and of course had his opportunity to coach in the A-League with the Newcastle Jets under then ownership of Nathan Tinkler.
We do have a comment coming in from Nuj, who has asked why isn't Franjic playing, referring to Joey Franjic.
I'll let you answer that one.
Well, from what I know, it's officially injury, but there is also some talk that Joey Franjic will has parted company with the club. Unconfirmed, though.
Thank you. Rani, very excited to see Jonathan Boonis on the field. See what big Boona can do. Can he find the back of the net? Keep this Green Gully side in the NPL. Kosa keeps moving the ball. So Moreland City, less than 40 minutes away from being elevated to the NPL Victoria. Gully, I'm sure, won't let them have it easily. Challenge there from Richardson. Sees him give away a foul. Another chance for Moreland City to send some big boys in the box. They've got some big boys as well. Big Reedy and Jones. 2 strong centre halves. Apaya Kuno, international experience. Apaya Kuno. Cristaldo, man charged with taking the set pieces. Spinella came, but Cooper headed it away.
I think he's collected his own defender there, Lucas Spinella.
Yeah, Jordan Hall just struggling to get to his feet. A sore head, caught one to the back of the head. Lampard hoofs it long. Hall seems to have recovered quite well. For Mitch Cooper, all over the back of Tyler James. Jones going to find a Kuno, and almost does. Ball from the big central defender. Tyler James just collects Jay Davies.
Got a question for you, Matty. in last year's Pro Relegation playoff, I guess a lot of Dandenong City players were staring down the prospect of potentially relegating the club that they had such a deep affinity for in the Melbourne Knights.
Why is that, to be?
Oh, well, you know, Melbourne Knights for such a long time has been the, I guess, one of the two most successful Australian-Croatian teams, and also, given their presence in the NSL, was the boyhood club for many of those Dandenong City players of Croatian descent. And I think that my question alludes to this game today. Daniel Jones spent 8 seasons at Green Gully, became part of the furniture there, won a championship or 2 actually with them. Do you think he'll have a few mixed emotions if he was to potentially come out of this game as a winner?
I don't think so. I think that he knows that his allegiance lies with Moreland City.
I mean, taking out the professionalism
he'd love a return to the NPL, I'm sure, as Paz goes past Boonis, releases Cristaldo. Maybe an opportunity now for Moreland City. Cristaldo, oh, fantastic tackle. Callum Richardson. It's a great challenge. A last-dish challenge. You see on the replay, Cristaldo driving into the area. Richardson does very, very well.
Fantastic challenge from the former Burnley man.
Spent some time at Burnley.
Yes, he did.
Tell us all about it, Tamir.
It was before he came back to Australia and had a short stint at the Melbourne City.
Oh, I'll hold you there for a moment. This is a foul on Cruceratus.
He's not too happy about that decision, Nick Cruceratus.
Thought it could have gone the other way, to be very fair. We see on the replay.
Well, linesman Josh Byrne has called a handball. I mean, if it is a handball, I mean, does he really have much time to react there and move his arm away?
Is there intent?
I mean, his hand is, you could say, in an unnatural position, but it gets kicked into him.
Absolutely. I think might have been a little bit lucky, Jordan Lampard.
But having said that, it's a really, a lot of times, while there is laws and rules to abide by, it is a game of interpretation.
Absolutely. Some referees give out yellow cards in the first minute, Tamir. She will be very well aware. Of course, the inside joke, not getting to everyone.
Well, why don't you explain the inside joke?
No, we don't have time for that. Moreland City through Jordan Lampard, send the ball forward. Piacuno, those long legs. Cut through and yet another corner.
Never seen someone get so abusive at a referee for making the correct call, Matty. That's all I'll have to say.
Well, maybe you have an interpretation that I don't around correct calls, Demir. Will be Cristaldo heading over to send this ball into the area. So Christopher Cristaldo targets in the middle. Jones, the back post. Jones heads it across goal. Matthew Reid was there for Moreland City. He couldn't quite connect. And Gully escape.
Well, if you're Green Gully, the concerning thing is that it's Moreland City with all the chances early on in this second half, and they're really lacking a lot of penetration and mobility up forward to form some attacks of their own. Let's see if things will change here as Carvalho plays in Cooper.
Mitch Cooper. Can he do against Tyler James? Looks to find Cavallo. Can't get there. Jay Davies contesting with Cristaldo. Does enough to hold him up.
Here's a trivia question for you, Matty. Why would Mitch Cooper have fond memories of Amy Park?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't share your encyclopedic knowledge of the lesser-known A-League players, but please tell me.
Well, it's actually the ground that not only did he make his debut, A-League debut for the Gold Coast United, but he also made it as a captain.
As a youngster, wasn't he? He was the youngest captain in the A-League. There you go.
As an 18-year-old in what was undoubtedly a publicity stunt by the former United owner, Clive Palmer.
Clive Palmer, of course, a current politician.
Make Australia great, he says.
Wow. Thank you to Clive Palmer. Long throw, Konstantinidis. Headed away from Richardson. Oh, it fell to Cristaldo. His strike, just a little bit wide. I've got a comment here on Facebook. from Peter. I think Gully are a good side, but the coach is the issue. They've had some coaching issues this year, Demir. What can you tell us about Arthur Pappas, who started the campaign with Green Gully, and he was here, he wasn't here, and obviously they made a coaching change because has he got a job overseas now?
Yeah, he's got a job as the assistant coach of an Indian Super League team, North East United, who are based in as the name indicates, one of the northeastern provinces of the country, close to the border with Bangladesh, where he's assisting the Dutch coach there. But
who's the Dutch coach?
I think his name is Chaletto or something similar to that.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment as Apaya Kuno unleashes his left foot. Wow, fantastic strike, Apaya Kuno. If you wonder why that man was the NPL 2 Golden Boot winner, you see what he can create out of nothing. His left-footed strike in the replay here, just sailing over the bar. Very well done. See Boonis looking to release Cavallo, and Cooper complaining. Might have been a foul. But Mitchison wins it back. Boonis. 2v1, 3v1. Not a huge amount of support for the big man. Gets in a left-footed cross, but it's very, very easy for McDowell.
Catching practice for Kieran McDowell, who, as we've noted, has been impressive between the sticks for Moreland City over the course of the 2018 season, and was duly rewarded with the NPL 2 Goalkeeper of the Year award.
Certainly was.
An honour that he shared with Robert Santilli of the St Albans Saints, who pushed Adrian Maffa's men right up until the penultimate game of the season. Sorry, I'm talking about the playoff between the two last week, which Moreland won convincingly 4-1.
It certainly did. That's why they're here today. It's action-packed day. It's the triple-header day. Football Federation Victoria. Promotion relegation playoff, as you're watching now, 3:30, the NPLW Grand Final, South Melbourne and Bulleen. And at 6:30, the big one, Heidelberg hosting Avondale. So Kuno looks to be released. But Richardson, he's done quite well. Richardson, he's impressed me. And the ball forward. Green Gully, I think they're going to need Manny Muscat, Demir. Yeah, they need something, because right now it's not happening. It's Paz. It's tracked by Cavallo. He's on a card. He's just tugging at Paz, and probably lucky that Paz didn't want to flop to the floor a little bit earlier.
And do you think Cavallo, being on a yellow card, is going to be the next man who makes way, potentially for Manny Muscat, and we would see a reshuffle if that were the case?
We certainly would. He's not going to be playing out wide. Cavallo maybe one foul away from getting his marching order. I think there will be a card, possibly a red card for the game's out. There's a lot of fiery behaviour. Stan asks, what's the logic of playing at Amy Park today, Stan? An opportunity to showcase our great game here in Victoria. Not just to those locally, but this broadcast on Facebook, attracting upwards of 1,000 fans later on today. So it looks like it'll be Lampard or Cristaldo. Just that over the ball. Oh, set piece trickery that goes wrong. It's one for the bloopers reel. Jay Davies anticipating what was coming. Cavallo can't find Boonis.
Going into the season, I did make one observation about the Green Gully squad, that they did have a few too many central midfielders or central players, whether they were defensive mids or box-to-box midfielders, or perhaps players that can play in a more advanced attacking role, as we see Cristaldo get pulled back there.
Yeah, possibly can't. I've seen the replay. He beats Mitchison, and Mitchell with an absolute shirt full of Cristaldo, and no card. Corey Thomas himself has been booked. Not too impressed with the referee.
I think he's arguing the consistency point because there has been a player or two booked for that exact same foul earlier on.
So Cristaldo chips the ball into the area. No one attacking it from Moreland. Drops out to James. James will send it back in, looking for Matthew Reid. Lucas Spinella up to the task. And tick over. 65 minutes to Mia. If you had to anticipate the next change, what do you think it might be? Is it Manny Muscat? Do you think he comes on?
Yeah, him or even perhaps Omar Abdi Ghaffar.
Hang on. Cristaldo picks the pocket. Akuno driving forward. Not missing those bright yellow boots. Kosa. Well guarded by Christian Cavallo. Kosa uses his left foot to whip into the area. Nodded away. Jordan Hall. Jay Davies. Cruceratus with space in front of him. He's got to get going, Cruceratus. Hasn't touched the ball much in the second period. Mitch Cooper begging for the ball to be switched across. Walker keeps it short with Cruceratus, who'll link up with Boonis.
Well, we've talked a bit about Gully lacking a lot of penetration and mobility up forward. Certainly one player that can change that is Cruceratus. He's got a fantastic turn of pace on him, can beat defenders as well.
Come back in a minute to mirrors Jay Davies. He can produce the special, Davies. This time though.
Poor giveaway from Mitchinson, but he'll win it back here. As Kose quashes possession.
Mitchinson has got to travel forward, space in front of him.
And you look at that Moreland City defensive wall that they've got, it's quite compact.
They do, is it? Ball's played in by Jeremy Walker and Kieran McDowell. The man with the beard comfortably comes out.
And thank you to Tony for confirming with us that the head coach of Northeast United is Elko Shatorio.
Thank you, Tony. Brunis looks to play in Cavallo, but that ball will go too far. So, troubling times. Troubling times. Mark asks us the important questions, Demir. What's on the menu? It's just the Amy Park canteen, unfortunately, mate. Well, fortunately, there's some good food downstairs. But no souvlaki's. Nothing on the spit.
No Travapis either.
Sorry. Got an injured Moreland City player rolling around the ground, Christopher Cristaldo. He has been booked, and there is some movement on the Moreland City bench. I think it's Raddy Chilelli coming on, so he's just getting his shirt on.
Former Green Gully player and a Green Gully junior himself.
I think he'll replace Cristaldo by the looks of it. Cristaldo not doing too well. Seeing the camera there, he's struggling.
He of course was the first man to get booked earlier on in the game.
Quite a soft booking, and I think it must be Cristaldo. He's not moving well at all. So is this a straight swap? Is it Tamir?
Yeah, Chilelli does have the ability to play out wide. Can be a tricky customer on his day.
I'm a fan of Raddy. I like him as a player.
Yeah, well, he did make his senior debut for Green Gully after spending a good portion of his junior career at the club. Went, of course, to the Melbourne City youth team after that and returned to Gully, but was not wanted in the senior team, or struggles for game time more accurately, and moved to Richmond last season.
He did. Paz gets released in behind. We've got some news coming from downstairs, and it will be Manny Muscat coming on for Green Gully. And what a boost that could be.
He, of course, was a player that achieved his elevation into the A-League a decade ago after playing for Green Gully. So that was where he got noticed, and he spent a good 7-8 seasons at the Wellington Phoenix before spending a couple at Melbourne City. Over 200 A-League appearances, and he'd be looking for that experience to help him and his teammates out here and get him out of jail, as we see Cavallo making way as we predicted, and also Osman Kose being the man to replace, be replaced by Radip Chaleli and not Cristaldo.
Cristaldo does look a bit better. We're seeing him talking at the moment to Tim Payton. What's Timmy's role at Moreland City, Timia?
Is he an assistant coach?
That's a good question. We'll get that confirmed. He's the one of the assistant coaches, we're being told. So Moreland, they've got 20 minutes. I won't say to hang on to me because they've probably been the dominant side. They're not hanging on.
Yeah, and can you remember any decent opportunity that Green Gully have had this half? I know they had one in the first half with Chris Aradas, as we see Mitchelson talk himself into the book there. Corey Thomas is letting him know all about it. Sorry, not Corey Thomas.
It's Cristaldo getting stuck in. Mitchelson, I think he wasn't going to get booked, was he? I think he might have had a few words for Lockie Keevers. Lockie respond to the yellow card. Moreland City won't worry about this. Takes the time off the clock. Raddy's haircut's getting quite a mention. George Voliotis, of course, probably one of the best players, if not the best player at Richmond this year. As we see a Kuno ball in the area.
Gone down.
It'll be a corner. Richardson is down, so we'll need some treatment.
So one more substitution for Green Gully.
Well, who do you bring on if Richardson can't keep going? And it looks like a hand injury. If I can see if we get someone to zoom in on Richardson, but I think it's a hand injury at the moment.
Yeah, he is holding his wrist there.
He'll be okay. No treatment required. Set piece opportunity for Moreland City. Cristaldo sends it into the area. Falls to Jones. He just tries to knock it across the face of goal. Can't quite do so. And Manny Muscat, we call his name for the first time since he's coming on, releases the Crucerades. What can Gully find? Back to Muscat. Neat turn and finds Lambert Aredes. There's a name we haven't said too much today. Cooper out wide. Richardson on the overlap. Just plays it behind him slightly. It's a corner.
Set piece opportunity for Green Gully to get some of their tall timber up forward. Boonis, I assume, would be one of the targets.
Jonathan Boonis is a big boy. Daniel Jones straight to him to pick him up. Jay Davies. Take this set piece. So it will be Davies now for Green Gully. Just waiting because Richardson is off the ground at the moment getting some treatment. Looks like a finger injury to Richardson. Davies whips it in. Mitch Cooper challenges Kieran McDowell. McDowell very, very strong. Don't think he'll be in a rush to get up. Take as long as he can.
Well, we're getting into that territory, and I guess if you're a Green Gully fan, the most disappointing thing about today is that they have not turned up. I think that if we're, 74 minutes into the contest, and they've only had one really scoreable opportunity.
Certainly have, and McDowell all of a sudden is better. So, no treatment required again. Richardson's back on the ground. It was a small finger injury there.
I mean, if the game was to end right now, I think Moreland City will be overwhelmingly deserved winners.
Yeah, no one can take that away from them.
And if you're Gully, well, they've got, 16 minutes plus at a time to save their season.
Well, if you look at this game on paper, you see Bruno still going to play in Crucerades. Honestly, I'm not being disrespectful to Moreland, but some of the names and the experience of Green Gully.
Yeah.
You would have thought that this game would go one way only, but
exactly right. But momentum is momentum is a funny thing in football, and also we can see one team who's certainly playing with a lot of confidence and another team who's down on it.
Cooper and Chiloli challenge for the ball. So Muscat playing that 6 role, defensive midfielder.
That's a poor giveaway from Richardson.
Certainly was. And the Kuno's been released now from Cristaldo. The Kuno needs to deliver. Looks to find Corey Thomas, the back post. Nods it down. Some contact.
Minimal contact.
Not enough, and Jay Davies is pushed further forward now that Manny Muscat's come on. Oh, neat trickery from Cruceratis. It's a couple of Moreland City players. Just loses the ball out.
Did everything right by the pass, Nick Cruceratis. Turned Tyler
Thomas
James
was
twice.
Quite strong, and Thomas off the floor wins it to Paz. Paz travelling forward. Paz will strike the ball. Straight to Spinella. "15 minutes to go."
15 minutes to save their season, Green Gully. Can they wake up?
Jay Davies just trying to get on this long ball, and Matthew Reid nods it back to Kieran McDowell.
Now we do have a question by Harry, who says, "No Travapi, no Savlaki, but at least let us know if the Nutman has come."
I haven't seen the Nutman outside.
Mind you, we got
he won't
here.
be in the ground.
Mind you, we did get here quite early.
Some of us did, Demir. Paz looks to release Lampard, who delivers into the area. Pederides moves the ball forward to Boonis. Cooper, this is better from Green Gully. Mitch Cooper striding forward. Daniel Jones. Oh, it's a foul. It's a soft foul, but it's there. It says he won the ball. Boonis wants to get on with things, but he might want to leave this one and get himself in the mixer. Big Jonathan Boonis. He might play it short. Cruceratis. Back to goal. Can't escape Daniel Jones and Christopher Cristaldo. John Onu tells us there's no Nutman. He's at Johnny Bentley.
Sad reacts only.
Certainly sad reacts only. Cruceratis goes down theatrically. No foul. Muscat. Wide to Jeremy Walker. What can he do? Tries to combine with Jay Davies. Back to Walker. It's an average touch from Jeremy Walker. A long searching ball, looking for a Kuno. Ball will travel out. So still one change left for Green Gully. 2 changes still for Moreland City. Gully with a throw in. Got to get this ball moving forward. Lambertarides lumps it long. Very well defended from Stelios Konstantinidis. It's in a good solid game. Richardson again just wasteful with his clearance, but Kuno just strolled offside.
Wasn't offside by much for Kuno there, but ultimately the correct call from the linesman as Gully looked to start an attack here with Walker in possession.
It's Jeremy Walker. Finds Manny Muscat. Again, wasteful from this Green Gully outfit as Kuno, and challenging with Richardson. Kuno wins out. Oh, Lino's not agreed with me, but Lockie Keevers does. That's a first. We might have to save that one for the camera roll because me and Lockie have just agreed on something. That ball clearly coming off the Green Gully defender. Lockie Keevers overruling the assistant referee. Stelios Konstantinidis in absolutely no rush to go and take this throw into Demir.
Moreland City about to bring a change on. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, Matt Spall.
With that confirmed by our team down the ground. have got that confirmation that Matt Spall is the one who's getting ready. Still trying to confirm who's coming on, or coming off rather. Kuno trying to find Chaleli against Muscat. Strong from Muscat, but even stronger from Chaleli. Muscat gets himself in front and wins the free kick. Take it quickly, a little bit of urgency there from Jordan Hall. He knows there's only 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes for Green Gully to avoid relegation. See them playing in NPL 2 next year. Long searching ball for Cooper. He almost gets there, but McDowell comfortable and confident off his line.
McDowell, who's been at Moreland City for a number of seasons now, of course, beat Brandon Galgano to the #1 spot a few seasons back, and hasn't looked back since. Of course, I
certainly
think,
right to me. I don't want to talk over you there. Sorry, keep going about Brandon Galgano.
No, I think Brandon got a bit unlucky with a season-ending shoulder injury. McDowell impressed when coming on.
You saw a picture there of A.D. Mathers, the coach of Moreland City.
An NPL 2 coach of the year.
Did a great job. Spinella collects in front of Paz. Sends the ball to Lambertarides. Trickery. Finds Cooper. They've got to do something, Green Gully. Brunis. Back to Lambertarides. Not too much in front of him. He looks to switch the ball across. Very well defended from Jordan Lampard. Kieran McDowell takes the nod back. Again, we are live streaming all games today. So all 3 games here from Amy Park. The triple header. Stay with us all day. Plenty of action.
Big game coming up, of course, between South Melbourne and Bulleen.
Massive game, Demir. Looking forward to watching that one later on. Of course, the NPLW Grand Final. Wouldn't want to miss it. 3:30 p.m. today. I know I'll be here, Demir, staying around to watch that one. Ball comes to the back post. Oh, Cooper was ready to smack it home. Constantinides got in front of him. Mitchison on the ball. Muscat. What can they find? Jay Davies, is he the man to unlock this Moreland City defence? They're tight, they're compact. All 11 players from Moreland City in their defensive third. All hands on deck now. So we see that substitution coming. And it is your man, Matthew Spall, who's replacing Lissandro Paz, who's doing the good old, I'll pretend I haven't seen the board, and not moving towards the sideline. We see
the furthest end of the ground to lengthen his walk off as Matthew Spall looks to make an impact off the bench. I assume he'll be deployed further forward, and while expected to contribute defensively, would also look to make some attacks. The youngster who is one of 2 men on that Moreland City team sheet who have come across from the now defunct Bendigo City senior team.
Enlighten us who the other one is?
Dante Thomas, the second choice goalkeeper.
Okay, haven't heard of him before, but ex-Bendigo. Thank you, Teo. That's what Demir just said, though. Thank you for letting us know. Ball into the area. Lambertarides. Smacked long from Cristaldo. Just see in the picture there, not a Moreland player in sight. They're all happy to defend. Not too long to go. In fact, only 6 minutes. So Davies taken slightly late. Foul given by Lockie Keevers, and Davies can't connect, and Constantinides will send this ball long and down the line.
It just looks so disjointed today. Green Gully, very sluggish, and I mean, given the form that they were in going into this game, I guess it's no surprise, but given the players that they also have at their disposal, you'd expect it a bit more of an effort. Can they change that in the last 5+ minutes?
There hasn't been any urgency to me.
Yeah, and that's the problematic thing. I mean, apart from Cruceradis' chance, they haven't had any clear-cut opportunities this game. And for a team with the likes of Cruceradis, Cooper, Baresi, Jay Davies. It is quite surprising as we see Chileli is that who's lashed out at Davies, who's gone onto the ground. Moreland City Junior certainly telling him about it.
Look at the crowd, fantastic. Great to see so many people here today. Reminder, you can get tickets at the gate. No need to pre-purchase. The gates are open. The ticket boxes are open at the stadium. Come on down. 6:30 p.m. kickoff for the main event. It's Davies.
Do you think he's got the ability to pull a trick out of his?
He certainly does.
Had Jay Davis. From memory, he was...
Well, hang on. Demir Muscat driving forward. Tyler James all over him. Will get booked for it. It's a yellow card, and is this the chance that Green Gully need?
Well, they haven't done too much with their set pieces today.
Kamal Ibrahim commenting Green Gully, been second in the ball all game. Is it the Kamal Ibrahim that I'm aware of?
Potentially.
Could be. Thanks for your comments, Kamal. It's Gully. Send this ball in through Richardson. Oh, it's a poor delivery. Cristaldo heads it away and reclaims his own ball and tries to send in a pie at Kuno. Kuno heading forward, tries to come inside. Richardson with another fantastic tackle. The ball trickles away. It's a corner. No rush to take this. Cristaldo going very, very slowly in front of us. He heads down to the corner flag. Daniel Jones staying back, so not committing just yet, or is he? No, he's heading forward now. Let's make their third substitution, Moreland. Josh Hanna from Pascoe Vale, Essendon Royals and Hume City Junior. So he's coming on.
Player who made his breakthrough through Moreland last season and has been used primarily off the bench this campaign as well.
So it's Cristaldo to send the ball into the area. Finds Chileli at the near post. Cristaldo with another go. Sends it deeper, looking for Jones. Flicked away by Jeremy Walker, and Jones is happy to let it go across the line. Chew up some more time. So just 3 minutes remaining in this NPL promotion relegation playoff. Live here at Amy Park in Melbourne. Spall and the ball. Looks to dink it in to try and find Cristaldo, but the ball goes out. Goal kick, Spinella will get it going. He's looking to get a bit of speed into it. He'll send this one long. Brunis the obvious target for Green Gully. Daniel Jones gets up and holds the ball for Moreland. Constantinides puts it out. Jay Davies rushing over. He knows there's not long left.
No, Corey Thomas is the goal scorer, but Daniel Jones, man of the match, honours.
He's done quite well as he gets the ball now and looks to play in a Pia Kuno, but Richardson looks to get there first this time. Sends it back to Spinella. 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Can't see there being much added on to Mir. There hasn't been many stoppages.
Standard 3 minutes perhaps. 4 if we're being generous. As
well, this could finish it now. Spall breaking through, trying to set it back. Chileli! Chileli scores! And Moreland City will surely be playing NPL football next year. The celebrations are starting now. Substitutes, fans alike, running onto the pitch almost. And Moreland City take a 2-0 lead. And have we seen a changing of the guard? Moreland City 2, Green Gully 0. We're in the 90th minute. The celebrations at the moment are fantastic. We see on the replay, Matt's ball breaking down the left-hand side, cuts the ball back. Chileli gets there, side foots it in, and Moreland City, well, Demir, are they there?
Radib Chileli might have just synced his old club and condemned them to relegation, and it's no more than they've deserved. They haven't turned up today, Green Gully. Moreland City have been first to everything, and Chileli has just sunk the boot into his former employers who look to mount an improbable comeback here, Matty.
Well, it's unbelievable. Moreland City.
The pub team, Moreland City.
The pub team, as their president said on Twitter during the week. I think they're proving people wrong. I don't think people can call them a pub team anymore. Adi Mathers has done a fantastic job as the fourth official. Puts up the board, indicates there's 4 minutes of time added on. 4 minutes for Green Gully to save their season and avoid relegation. Mitchison, can they get the ball forward?
It's going backwards at the moment, Matty, and that's concerning.
Davies, they've won once in their last 16, Green Gully. They're 2-0 down. Be less than 3 minutes to go. And here they have a chance. It's Musket. So Musket scored, and all of a sudden, the Moreland City celebrations have been put on ice.
Potential lifeline for Green Gully.
Well, Manny Musket scored.
It was the ball into the box, and Cooper got a head to it. And Manny Musket.
Okay, well, we are very, very nervous now. Moreland City making their final change. It's Christopher Cristaldo who's coming off. So he comes off and Josh Hanna comes on. Wow. We thought it was all over, but hold on.
I did say it would be an improbable comeback if Green Gully were to get another goal. But Manny Musket has given them a lifeline. Is it going to be nothing more than vain hope, or is it going to be something more?
Let's wait and see. 3 minutes, under 3 minutes to go. And they will throw the absolute kitchen sink at this Moreland City team. Ball hoofed out of play. Got to commit numbers. There are no second chances.
But I guess you got to ask yourself, where was that urgency all game long?
Well, if I'm honest, Amir, I can't see a Superman urgency right now.
Sure, they're well aware that stays like this, Green Gully, one of the most successful clubs in Victorian football, will be spending 2019 in NPL 2.
It's Davies. The questions come through. Can they pull off an Avondale? Let's wait and see. Mitchison.
Corner.
Surely Spinella's got to come up. There's no point in sitting back. There's only 2 minutes to go, but the keeper hasn't committed. Jeremy Walker's still in defensive third, and it's Jay Davies playing the ball into the area. Musket in the back post. Richardson! Oh! Can you believe it? It's in! Kellen Richardson scored, and Green Gully, they've come back from 2-0 down in injury time. It's 2-2, and well, do we have a game on now?
Unbelievable scenes here at Amy Park. Green Gully, an improbable comeback out of nowhere.
The absolute scenes here at Amy Park.
Moreland City's champagne corks have been put on hold.
Can you believe it? Here's the replay to me. Jay Davies whips the ball into the area. It falls to Musket. He's been the saviour. Callum Richardson rises. And then the ball just creeps over the line. And we're live now, I tell you what, 2-2 in the 94th minute. We can't find a ball. It's absolute scenes.
Where has this been all game?
Can they pull off an Avondale? Can they score another? 2-2 in the NPL Victoria promotion relegation playoff. These are the games we live for, Demir. And Manny Musket,
the saviour.
Has he been the man who's going to help and save his club? The club he played for as a youngster, the club he returns to as captain. Has he saved them from relegation? 30 seconds to go. Mitchison pushing forward. Don't tell me they can do it, Demir. They've been nowhere all game and they've just come out of nowhere. And Budis playing a ball in behind. But Matthew Reid does a fantastic job. Wow, we talk about momentum. You said that Green Gully came into the game on a losing streak and Moreland were winning and they've been the momentum. Now, if this goes in extra time, how this momentum has swung.
Well, Moreland City were less than 2 minutes away from achieving promotion into the NPL. I mean, the fat lady was just about to start singing, and out of nowhere, Manny Musket pulled the goal back and then turned provider for Callum Richardson as Lockie Keevers calls full time, and we're into extra time, Matty McNamara.
Wow, what a finish, what a dramatic finish to this game. Absolutely unbelievable. Moreland City 2-0 up inside at injury time. In the 91st minute, Green Gully get one back. The 93rd minute, they equalised. Unbelievable. Can't believe what we're witnessing here, Demir. It's been a fantastic finish to the game. Huge crowd at the moment. And the comments on Facebook, unbelievable. Can't repeat some of them.
Well, Matty, Forza the live stream, because it tends to be the case that every time that there is a sensational comeback in Victorian football, the games are played under the watchful eyes of live viewers. We saw South Melbourne against Dandenong City last year. We saw last week Avondale's amazing comeback against the Bentley Greens, and this week Green Gully out of nowhere.
Well, absolutely. Demir, for 90 minutes of the game, they didn't look like scoring. Well, they didn't look interested half the time.
Well, if you're Adrian Mathers, I mean, what's your message now? Because you were, you saw that celebration, Matty. They, I think, all believed that they were going, that the job had been done, that they were getting promotion.
Well, I thought they were as well. But if I'm Adrian Mathers, to be honest, I'm upset, I'm disappointed, but I'm saying, you know what, guys, for 90 minutes we're the best team. There's another 30 minutes to go, and we're here to show everyone that we're the best team. Keep going. And keep doing what you were doing.
There's nothing you can do to change what's happened. All you can change is what happens in the next 30 minutes. And they don't want to be the team that's bottled promotion when it was within reach. They had their fingertips on it.
They certainly did. Some comments coming through. John Pelicanos, wow, what a last 5 minutes. Reshit, this is why you love football. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Aaron Camilleri, you were a bit negative before, Aaron, but now Gully will go on with this, and Muscat's made the difference. So the tides are turning, and Manny Muscat, wow, we said before he hasn't won a game for Green Gully since he came back. He may single-handedly win on this game for his performance this afternoon. So very, very good. Abdul Karim Koch, of course, the goalkeeper who was at Moreland. Murray, my apologies. NPL, the best league in the world at the moment. Peter says, are you watching FFA? Wow, the comments are smashing through. Manny Park, the Amy Park specialist. Of course, former Melbourne City player was Manny Muscat.
And Festim's asking the question that you asked earlier, why was Manny Muscat on the bench? You can only assume that it's fitness concerns, because he has proved to be the spark behind Green Gully's resurgence and comeback in this game. Out of nowhere.
Wow. What a finish, and what a 30 minutes. I mean, who would have thought we're going to extra time? And to be honest, Amir, I'm really excited. This is actually good.
Well, it seemed to be quite a flat game up until that 89th minute when Chilali appeared to have sunk his former club down into NPL 2, and out of nowhere, Manny Muscat, the saviour of Green Gully, with a goal and an assist to Callum Richardson's equaliser, which just crossed the line.
Did. Get underway now. The first period of extra time. A reminder, 2 15-minute periods of extra time. If the teams can't be separated, we'll be going to a penalty shootout. Lampard, as we settle down again after an emotional few minutes. Neat trickery to Chilali. Of course, they've emptied their bench, Moreland. Green Gully still with one additional substitute. Manny Muscat heads the ball away. Walker can't clear. Falls to Chilali. Looks to combine at Kuno. His long legs. Can't get him out of trouble this time. The ball sails out for a goal kick. So plenty of comments coming through, guys. We're live and interactive. Leave your comments.
And Aaron just reaffirming his point.
Right of reply.
Reaffirming his point. Yes, I was negative. I said Gully have been rubbish all game up until the 89th minute, and I can't say I disagree with him. They were very flat.
Certainly were.
While we do have plenty of cameras around the pitch, we don't, of course, have VAR, and full credit goes to Lockie Keevers and his team for spotting the fact that the ball had gone over the line there.
The liner was pretty quick. He said it had. To be really fair to me, were there any protests?
Well, I think there was a few faint protests from Moreland City, but I think they were just shocked at the fact that they've blown a 2-goal lead going into stoppage time. Green Gully, as I said, had only really had the one clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity up until the 89th minute.
Yes, wow. Unbelievable, this promotion relegation game. It's going down to the wire. You'd have to say right now, Demir, Green Gully are probably the favourites.
Well, I mean, we've spoken about it all game, but they're the ones with the momentum now. And who would have thought that? As Radab Chaleli and his teammates wheeled away in celebration. I'm sure Morris Bassetto and Adrian Mathis, Timmy Payton were all preparing to open up the champagne corks.
They certainly were. Thomas Main says, what the hell just happened? Only turned off for 5 minutes. Well, welcome back, Thomas. We're in extra time. And it's 2-2. Green Gully scoring in the 91st and 93rd minute. Manny Muscat scored the first before he created a second. Callum Richardson not at home. Moreland City through a pie at Kuno. Just driving the ball wide. Moreland boys were already on the drinks. So can't believe I decided to go to this today. Stephen Von Tunk. Well, you didn't come along, Stephen, but you're lucky enough. All 3 games today being live streamed. You can join the action. There's over 700 people at the moment. Great comment from Mark Silver to me. I'll let that one, you handle that one.
Just mentioning that, imagine if that Avondale-Heidelberg game had something on the line in terms of a promotion clash.
It would be fantastic, and hopefully in the near future we will have that promotion and relegation with the A-League.
See former Northcote player Evan Kunavelis saying great viewing. Don't think there'll be many disagreeing with that comment.
Hang on, Demir. Matt's ball. The back post. He's the one that created the final goal for Moreland City. The goal we thought was going to take them to the NPL. Now Lampard. Ball just away to Cooper. We're all still getting our breath back.
Quite shell-shocked. And I wonder if any of the Moreland City players are, because, gee, that came out of nowhere.
Absolutely it did. They were nowhere for 90 minutes. They struggled to break them down, to find opportunities. Manny Muscat scored an opportune goal. We thought, no, they can't. Manny Muscat said, yes, we can. Made sure his team lives to maybe not fight another day, but they'll fight another 30 minutes to me up. See how long that lasts. Wowee. Renee says, come on, Gully. There's Moreland City with the ball. They had the ball until Jordan Lampard just dropped it to Mitch Cooper. Out to Mitchison. Just to find Boonis in behind it. Boonis is straight offside. Daniel Jones clean up from Moreland City. It's been a fantastic afternoon. Some great pictures you'll see on the big screen. It's not quite a lot of people there. Lovely scenes today. He's the best cameraman in the business as well. Kuno coming a little bit late on Muscat, but no foul. Constantinides. Spool goes down, but rather theatrically, says Lockie Keevers. I'll hear some stuff through the effects mic. Some of the crowd in the lines would know what they think of his decision just then, but well, Cruceratus is in behind, cuts it across the face of goal, looking at Cooper, but Daniel Jones, he gets there, and Demir, the momentum swinging, and it's swinging fast.
It is, and if there's one man from the Green Gully team that you don't want to give a lot of space to, it's Nick Cruceratus, because he can punish you, and Daniel Jones to the rescue with that clearance. But it's another set piece for Green Gully. Let's see what they can do.
Tom Ansell says he's watching from Sydney. He thinks this promotion relegation game is what they need in the New South Wales NPL. So fans love it. You love it when you're winning. Comes in from Jay Davies. Just to find Cruceratus.
Be another corner, no. McDowell's kept it in.
Kept it in. We've had plenty of corners today, but Kieran McDowell keeps this one in. Ricardo asking, can you buy tickets at the ground? Yes, you can. Ticket boxes are open. Some good games this afternoon. I mean, this one's been a cracker. It really sets us up. Don't forget it's a triple header today, 3:30 p.m. this afternoon. South Melbourne and Bulleen, NPLW final. Before the heavyweights, Heidelberg United and Avondale. They'll clash at 6:30. And what a game that promises to be. Cruceratus gets in the end of that ball from Boonis, but Lampard does very, very well. There's the ball to Josh Hanna. Gives it away, trying to find a Kuno. I'm worried for Moreland City where the next goal might come from. Lacked a little bit of attacking intent. As Cruceratus gets absolutely nailed by Matty Reid. Doesn't mind a strong tackle, Matty Reid. Comments coming through now. The Gully supporters are finding their way to Facebook. Come on, Gully. There's a few coming through. A few Manny Muscat fans. There weren't many before, but all of a sudden Manny Muscat's a flavour of the month. Who scored for Gully? Robert DeRosa says, who scored for Gully? Robbie DeRosa, thanks for being on board and sending your comment through. Manny Muscat did, mate. So Manny Muscat scored. So Robbie DeRosa, great to see you, of course, commenting. I think Manny Muscat went for the Yeah Buddy celebration after he scored. He was pretty excited.
One of the cult figures of South Australian football, Robbie DeRosa.
Luke Gallo asks, where's Dover when you need him? Any info on why Dover's not playing, Demir?
Is he not suspended from a red card, or have I confused him with someone else? Yeah, sent off against Hume City, says Teo Pellizzeri.
That's why the man's not here. As a Kuno flicks it on. Certainly counter-attack football from Moreland City is Spall. Hopefully he wasn't complaining to the Lions about his poor touch, because I've seen a bit of ball control and a pair of loose underwear there. So Jerry Walker continuing with the ball. Cooper. Matt Vanderberg. So giving a shout out to Robbie DeRosa. Thank you, Matt. I'm sure Robbie appreciates all the shout outs. It's Josh Hanna driving forward. Jim Lambert asking where the special comments from Nick Tolios. Nick Tolios will be joining Fox Sports commentator Talia Pellizzeri this afternoon, or this evening, for the big one between Avondale and Heidelberg. Ball's playing the area, and Matt Spall might have had a good impact for the goal for Chilelli, but he's struggled since then.
Got Laos, the Springvale White Eagles goalkeeper, liking your joke, liking your comparison, Matty.
Well, wasn't the best touch. Festim commenting on Kieran Dover's whereabouts. Thank you, Festim.
I don't think Lubmack opens just yet.
I wasn't going to mention it to me, but now you did. Matt Vanderberg, thank you. Again, Robbie DeRosa getting another mention. He's screenshotting all those comments. Serratus. Jeremy Walker into the area. Daniel Jones gets up. Lambert Aredes heads towards goal, but can't be sitting in the back of the net. And Kieran McDowell. Well, we've ticked over, what is it, 101 minutes, so 4 minutes to go.
Got another White Eagles player, Milan Jovanovic, wanting a shout out to his list at Truth.
Of course, he provided to him, Demir, because he plays the Springvale White Eagles. So as Mitch Cooper releases Cruceratus, it's a very tight call. Joshy Byrne, linesman, putting his flag up. Moreland City slowing the things down now, though, Tamir.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, I guess it was always going to be quite interesting to see the tempo of the game after those frantic final few minutes, and I guess it's regressed back to the norm of what we saw in the first 89 or so minutes before Moreland City got that second goal. But unlike what we saw beforehand, Moreland City have, I guess, looked quite second best, you could say.
Jackson says looked on from his angle and looked close. That Chris Ryan's decision was very close.
Got John making the comment, who the hell is Martin Tyler when you have Matty Mack? Well, if only that was a mode of commentary on FIFA, I'm sure many will be turning into that.
Super aggressive, turn the super aggressive commentary on. Matty Mack will be there. Muscat cleaning up again with Jeremy Walker. Someone's asking what's the attendance at the ground. I'm not sure we can get you that figure just yet, but it is quite a solid attendance. The Green Seed Elite only operating on one side today.
I'd say currently we've got around 2,000 to 3,000 in the ground.
Bob Brown. Give us a plug, Matty Macker. Bob Brown, there's your plug. Of course, famous icon of Victorian football. Bob Brown, Bob Suleimani, goes under many different names.
Of course, was quite central in the 2012 grand final and immediate aftermath.
Just hold on, Demir, as Lambert Arides looks contest with Kieran McDowell, but McDowell too strong, and Daniel Jones will hump it away to Spall, who falls over. We talked before about the pitch conditions, Demir, and I was down there earlier. It's a little bit bumpy. I'm surprised, to be honest, for Amy Park. The grass is also quite long. There was rugby on Friday, but today's Sunday, so yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. But still, I guess it's better than playing at Campbell Reserve.
Going to see a collision and two players from the opposing teams go down. Tyler James, one of them.
I've got a question here, sorry. Let me go to this one. Robbie DeRosa, how's my boy Sam Mitchison?
Yeah, Mitcho's had a good game. He had a fantastic defensive block at 1-0, which proved to be a temporary respite for Green Gully midway through that second half. Overall, I think he's been one of the better Gully performers, but
so the crowd again on screen, and Jim Lambrew, as Damien Iaconis tells you, missing in action since gold medal night. I think I was with Damo towards the end of gold medal night, and he was certainly quite boisterous from what I can remember. I had a busy night myself, to be honest. Quite tired at the end, and it was a great night.
2 minutes of added time here.
Okay, so 2 minutes. Bob Brown just coming in with some information which appeared recently on Facebook as well. That big signing in the league, down there on Thunder, have re-signed Brandon Barnes for the 2019 season. So that's a big signing. There was plenty of rumours around Brandon Barnes. Not from himself, but plenty of clubs who want to sign him. There's a huge list.
And who says royalty is dead in the modern game, Matty?
Royalty or loyalty?
Loyalty, sorry.
Loyalty. Well, Brandon Barnes is down there on Thunder royalty.
He is, and he's NPL royalty when you consider his scoring streak over the past few campaigns. 99 goals in 78 games.
Thank you to the encyclopedia, Demir Kulash, the Victorian football expert.
Although, dare I say, a lot of people might not be counting goals against Nunawading in that list. Because what did he bag against them a few years ago? Was it 8?
We'll come back to that in a moment.
I'm sure Bob Brown can correct me in the comment section.
We can. Johnny Bentley's giving him a call out and says, give him the bigger news. So, Johnny Bentley, newsbreaker, wants to let Bob Brown tell us himself. Bentley pushed forward. We're in the second minute of that an injury time this first half of extra time. Jones hitting the ball away. Mitchison just fast ball.
Don't tell me they're reuniting or bringing back Luke Sherburn into the league. Of course, he's one player who's certainly got mixed emotions when you look at his Amy Park experiences. Winner in 2012.
Sure if he comes back.
Loser 2013.
Well, hang on a minute. Kuno is going to break forward, but no, I'm sure if Sherbs comes back, he'll enjoy his time and wherever he plays, and a trip to Jack Edwards Reserve will be an interesting experience. We're trying to find him. Stefan Negro. Is that the A-League Stefan Negro who's commenting? Great commentary. There are two Stefan Negros though. We thought it was a fraud until we found out the other one was real.
And I can confirm Matty did not just definitely text Steph Negro a few minutes ago to give him a shout out.
No. Half time now as well, so we're 15 minutes through what is a 30-minute extra time period. The first one's over. We'll have a quick 1 minute break. Teams will quickly grab a drink and swap sides as the camera just pans out. Wow, Damir, any more thoughts?
Well, I guess on the basis of what we saw in the last few minutes of normal time, that was quite a flat opening 15 minutes to this second half.
Can you hear the crowd? Can you hear the crowd of the Green Gully supporters?
Yeah,
there's quite a now. Green Gully. Let's be honest. Green Gully do get criticised for their crowd numbers sometimes, but they've got a few people here today.
Yeah, and I think
the cameras on the Moreland supporters at the moment. We'll pan across shortly, but you know, Gully have done well.
They have, and of course they are a club with one of the best junior setups in Victorian football, and that's been the case for a number of years, number of decades in fact, and I guess you can see a lot of them in attendance today. Overall, they've struggled to convert their large participation rate at the junior level into supporters for the match day experience for the senior team, but there's plenty of them here today, and they'll be looking to beat a 12-man in the second period of extra time.
It certainly will be. There's plenty of people here today. Very curious about what's going to happen next. There's 15 minutes to go. Moreland City, we'll do a quick recap for those who've just joined us. They scored early on before Radi Chalali. He scored what we thought was the winner. And that ball was breaking down the left-hand side, cut it across to Chalali. And Chalali with a great finish. And we thought that was it. 2-0 up, but in injury time, Manny Muscat got Gully back into it before he's header across goal to Callum Richardson, who's equalised, and all of a sudden it was 2-2. We're in extra time, and the second period of which has just kicked off. Jonathan Boonis, Lambertarides. Can Gully pull off, complete the miracle? Cruceratus. Oh, just nodded back to Kieran McDowell. Mitch Cooper was lurking. Couldn't quite get there. Long, hopeful ball to Akuno. Josh Hanna has beaten the ball on Manny Muscat. He's really revved this game up, Manny Muscat. Wasn't too influential his first few minutes, but he certainly sprung to life.
We do have a comment from the former Moreland City goalkeeper Brandon Galgano with a prediction. Corey Thomas to win it in the 120th minute.
Well, if he scores in the 120th, I'll tell you what, we'll be riding Green Gully off the way they've finished off today. Radi Chalali, new fresh fade for today's game. Turns the ball over though. Here come Gully, Jay Davies. Boonis is holding off his opponents. Means a throw in. Wasteful ball from Tyler James. Some tired legs to me out. Green Gully still with one substitution. But both the subs that are available aren't warming up. What's the go there?
Not sure. I mean, they're not chasing. Well, I guess you can say they are chasing a goal if they want to win this before the lottery. That is the penalty shootout. But I guess both teams have been quite timid in this extra time period. Not giving away too much. Hoping not to make that mistake which could prove to be fatal. As Walker looks to mount an attack here. Mitch Cooper on the inside calling for the ball, but it won't go to him as it goes to Manny Muscat, who powers forward, goes out wide to Cruceratis. Up against Lampard. Those two have had a good duel over the course of the 107 minutes. And Lockie Keevers calls the whistle early. Gully aren't happy. They were hoping for the advantage to be played there because Manny Muscat had broken through and was one-on-one against Kieran McDowell.
Well, chance now for Jay Davies. What can he do? Is the Moreland City faithful? They're on the edge of their seats. They're a bit nervous. Davies, the Englishman, over the ball. 3 in the wall. Probably a bit too many. I think he'll be shooting from here. Apaya Kuno, probably the biggest Moreland City player in the wall. I'd probably be having him in the box. Davies, just to deliver. Can't find a target. Jones, your man of the match.
Well, you know, does that change after what we saw in the last few minutes?
Jay Davies' mum and dad just joined in. Well, if you've just tuned in, your team was 2-0 down in the 90th minute. And they scored 2 goals in injury time. Somehow to equalise after a very average 90 minutes. They showed absolutely nothing. They really struggled, but since then they've been good. Manny Muscat, the man who's turned it round, and Jay Davies, he's a magician. Do plenty as Mitch Cooper wants to get this Gully side going. Keeps the ball in, but only to Matthew Reid. That's the offside flag once again. Thwarts Gully.
So we have another comment from Yeton Carney, BB and Nate Foster up front next season for Dandenong Thunder.
We won't comment on speculation here. We'll wait for people to get signed and then we'll talk about it.
I didn't make that comment, Matty, just to let you know.
Long ball. The numbers of the viewers to me just keep going up and up. Almost to the 1,000 mark now.
Get sharing, tag your mates, because we're in for a dramatic last 10 minutes and potentially penalty shootout to decide the outcome of this game.
Going the distance at the moment, Cruceratis, 3v1, keeps the ball back to Walker. Just want to find Davies. Davies in behind. If he can get there and cut it back. And Daniel Jones. Jonesy, former Gully player, throwing himself in front of the ball. It's desperation times now. It's in the replay. Davies trying to cut it back, but Jones up to the task as the clock ticks. Up to 110 minutes. Mel Impiambato, general manager of everything at the FFA, commenting. It's great coverage. It's a great product here in Victoria, Mel. Try and set the bar high for the NPL. Ball's lofted in by Walker. Sets out for a goal kick. Ange Bantas, Cruceratis to score the winner. Kamal Ibrahim, great defending from Moreland City time and time again. Absolutely. Apart from a few minutes, Demir, they have been the best team defensively. They're so hard to break down.
And they just let their guard down for a split through seconds and it proved costly.
Thank you to Stephen Rontunk. He shared it on Football Down Under, FDU. So a few viewers may be coming from there. Just given away.
Luke has asked us a question. Do these commentators dislike each other, or is it just banter? Well, I can assure you it's just banter.
Thank you for that, Demir. Cleared your side of things up. Pia Kuno with the ball. Moreland City. It was all celebrations before. All of a sudden, it's only been put on hold, but they could be in a bit of trouble. This Green Gully team doesn't want to give up.
Who do you think's the more likely of the two teams to get a potential winner before the end of 120?
Can't see one coming at the moment. But then in saying that, I didn't see Green Gully scoring once in normal time, but they scored twice. So Gully, if they pulled off the miracle, on Demir, there's a foul. Big question coming in, could you guys commentate FDU versus CAF in a couple of weeks? That could be huge.
Could be.
I'm sure if the money's right, Demir will be there.
Flights paid?
I think the Melbourne leg was played last year. Is this the Melbourne leg again, or is it up to Sydney now? So we will see. But Green Gully, they've got 8 minutes to save their spot in the NPL. 2-2 at the moment.
Kyle Kennedy, the former Kingston City goalkeeper, with a prediction of Mitch Cooper scoring the winner.
The new predictions coming through. Green Gully to win 3-2. Coops to score.
Tell us your best dad joke, Matty. I think you're the expert in those.
I think we'll stick with the football, Demir, as Kuno plays on the spool. Chilelli, from Melbourne City youth prospect, Melbourne Heart, to Josh Hanna, Hanna to Akuno! Oh, good save, Spinella! Spoil the follow-up! Oh, Spinella.
Straight at him.
He's done so well, but Matt Spall's got to do better.
Yeah, it's a fantastic initial save from Lucas Spinella, and then Matt Spall just lacked the direction to trouble the shot stopper, who's come up good for Green Gully when it matters most.
Boonis, the takeaway. Mitch Cooper, back to Boonis. Remember the Reedies.
And we have cracked the 1K mark, Matty.
So the numbers are going up. People want to see what's happening. Will Green Gully stay up, or will Moreland City take their place in NPL Victoria next year? Boonis, he looked to unleash. He wrapped his foot around it, and Kieran McDowell does it rather easily. 114 minutes gone now. Moreland City 2, Green Gully 2. Will we have a winner before the end of completion of extra time? We'll be off to penalties here at Amy Park. The first of NPL Victoria's triple header today. Well, Akuno, we needed to release Radhi Chilelli. Musket with a quick foul.
Quick one for you, Matty. If this game were to go to penalties, who is the better shot stopper between Spinella and McDowell?
Oh, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Kieran McDowell, the joint NPL 2 Goalkeeper of the Year award, awarded on Friday night, gold medal night. And Lucas Spinella, former contracted player at Melbourne Victory. Be a big contest. Spinella's the bigger goalkeeper, there's no doubt about that. And we'll see what can happen. Ball played in the area. Daniel Jones trying to get there. Falls to the back post of Chilelli. He's headed towards goal, and maybe the better option was to nod it back with Matty Reid just waiting to capitalise, but Gully stemmed forward. Brunis looks to play a long ball to Cruceratis. Been full of running, Cruceratis. Certainly plenty of A-League companionship watching today. Watching the young man from Green Gully. Brunis, wide to Jay Davies. Davies, a little bit of trickery. Cut the ball back, can't quite do so. Mitchell gets up well to Jeremy Walker. Gully pushing, trying to find a winner. They've already come from 2 down. Can they pinch it? Pull through to Cooper. Mitch Cooper saved. Cruceratis the follow-up. Saves again. No, it's in. Cruceratis. He's put Green Gully up. And is that the goal? that's going to keep Green Gully in the NPL. It's broken hearts and dejection for Moreland City. But Green Gully, their fans are going wild. Nick Cruceratis, he's followed up Mitch Cooper's strike. McDowell got a hand to it. There's questions of offside. Some of the Moreland City players aren't too happy. We see on the replay, Cruceratis, he slots in Cooper. Cooper's hit, well saved by McDowell. The follow-up, McDowell probably could have done better. And Nick Cruceratis, has he kept Green Gully in the NPL, Demir?
Well, this would be the ultimate great escape for Green Gully, but on the basis of what we've seen in the previous 116 minutes, you can't count out Moreland City, and you can't say that its next goal wins, given the comeback that we saw. But Lockie Keevers pulls the ball back here. It'll be a free kick for Moreland City, and a set-piece opportunity as Daniel Jones and Matthew Reid both go forward.
It's almost everyone going forward.
Mitch Cooper did so well to beat the offside trap there. McDowell, a fantastic save, and credit to Cruceratis, great composure, great technique. McDowell got a hand to it, but it wasn't enough.
Okay, it's Jordan Lampard. Whip it in, sends it into the area, towards the back post. Headed away to corner. What can Moreland City find? Pandemonium, says Chris Irwin. Sloppy defending, says Caleb Bates. Zois Galanopoulos, top striker himself, Anya Crucerati. Okay, Lampard to send it in the area. Moreland City, minutes away. It's a long, deep ball, maybe too long. Josh Hanna can't get there. And Spinella in absolutely no rush. The Piacuno helps him out getting a ball.
And is that the set piece of a dejected team, Matty? Because we saw Green Gully, when they went 2-0 down, they sprung into life like they hadn't all afternoon. Moreland City haven't recovered from that shock, I'd say.
No, they certainly haven't. Well, the champagne, it wasn't on ice, was it, to me? The corks were popped, the bottles were getting ready to be sprayed. It was almost all over.
Campbell Reserve was going to be an NPL venue next year. As it stands, it's going to be an NPL 2 venue.
Oh, it's dejection and broken hearts for Moreland City at the moment.
Just over 60 seconds of the 120 left here, and then it'll be up to the generosity of the fourth official.
Gully send the ball to Cruceratis. He'll just want to keep possession.
The Moreland City ball.
Do so. 80 Mathers helping get the ball back into play. Josh Hanna just turning it over. They've got to work hard to win the ball back. Josh Davies doesn't care, just sends it long. McDowell.
The drop punt.
Trying to find Spall. Flicked on by Mitchinson. Constantinides keeps it, picks it up, throws it in. Spall puts it in the area. Piacuno. 2 minutes of added time, so 2 minutes of Moreland City. Can they score and get this game to penalties?
Hanna won back possession there, and he's on the ball at the moment.
Going to go forward though. Lampard does just that. Acuno looking to challenge Spinella. Can't get there. Lucas Spinella will milk up as much time as he can.
Who would have scripted this at 2-0 up in the 91st minute? Manny Muscat gets a goal back, turns provider for Callum Richardson to get the equaliser in the 93rd, and Green Gully have just unbelievably managed to turn this game around.
They certainly have. Bit of time wasting from Green Gully. You don't blame them. We'd all do the same in their situation. You don't want to use the word choke or, anything of a, how do you say what's happened to Moreland City here? They had it in the bag, Demir.
They did.
They were there. The celebrations were on the way. The T-shirts were printed. And now Jonathan Boonis taking an absolute Michael out of players. He's offside though. And gets rid of the ball. And Lockie Keevers, that's another chance for him to pull a card out. done a good
1
job.
minute.
He's done a good job, Lockie Keevers.
Yeah.
Just well that down, 121st minute.
I mean, it's always...
See the Green Gully bench, they're happy at the moment.
It's always a good sign when the football's the main talking point and not the referee, and I think
Absolutely.
Lockie Keevers will be pretty pleased with himself. But here go Moreland City.
Ball, he's got to do something with it. Someone will have to help him.
Can't go backwards, and that's it.
So Green Gully have retained their place in the NPL Victoria with the most unlikely of comebacks. They were 2-0 down in injury time, but goals from Manny Muscat and Callum Richardson got them level before unbelievably, Nick Cruceratis scored a winner late on. It's Green Gully 3, Moreland City 2. Dejection for the Moreland players. Unbelievable scenes from the fans of Green Gully. Damir Kulash, what have we just seen?
I can't believe what I've seen. I mean, heading into injury time, the game was virtually all wrapped up. It was all over. Green Gully had no hope seemingly, and all of a sudden Manny Muscat turns to be their unlikely hero, a player that rarely scored during 200 plus A-League games, got one back, turned provider for Callum Richardson to bundle one over the line, and from there on the momentum swung in Green Gully's favour, and deservedly so. In extra time they were the better team. They got the goal. Mitch Cooper beat the offside trap. His shot was well saved by Kieran McDowell, who was hapless to stop Nick Cruceratis from getting the winner. And what an unbelievable escape for Green Gully. An improbable comeback.
Absolutely. Well put, Damir Kulash, a Victorian football expert, the encyclopedia. It's been fantastic today to have you alongside me. Matthew McNamara from Professional Football Consultants. Going through today's game. Will be a short presentation in a moment. Trying to clarify what the presentation's for, to say what, well done, you've stayed in the league. I'm not sure if there's a trophy or what they're doing, but there will be a presentation shortly.
Well, there was a bit of talk about that last year as well. It's always a bit, I guess, of an odd occasion. A team that finishes 12th is popping up the champagne corks in celebration. But I'd also like to extend a warm thank you to our viewers here today. We cracked the 4-figure mark heading into extra time, and thank you for putting up with us. I'm sure you enjoyed the quality of football over the course of the 120 minutes.
We have got a request to get an interview with Manny Muscat from his good friend Melin Piombardo. Not sure we have the technology available right now, but we'll see how we go, Mel. As we wait for the presentation.
I mean, if you're a Moreland City player, Matty, what would your emotions be at the moment?
Well, be very happy, I can tell you. 2-0 up inside injury time.
I mean, is this one of those things that a club can recover from? Being so close to elevation into the top flight for the first time in decades, and to see it snatched away in those circumstances.
Absolutely. Well, we do have an action-packed day today. It is a triple header here at Amy Park. You've just seen the promotion relegation playoff, and what a game that was. Coming up shortly, 3:30 p.m. here in Melbourne, we'll have Bulleen Lions in South Melbourne in the NPLW final. Before 6:30, the big one, Avondale and Heidelberg United. My name's Matthew McNamara. Joining me today was Damir Kulash. We hope you enjoyed the coverage, and stay tuned for more later today.